Because he's the hero America deserves, but not the one it needs right now. So we'll hunt him. Because he can take it. Because he's not our hero. He's a silent guardian. A watchful protector. An orange knight.
I'm getting a flashback to all these Stephen J. Canal movie TV shows. Riptide! Thank you, Dr.Ben.
Yeah!
There it is. This art is just so freaking crazy and just like so, like this is the epitome of like underground comics to me. I think I love it. I think it is so cool. I don't know, just the certain things like she's walking away and she just has this big ass with
look at that big ass, look at that big juicy booty, this Latina
with her twisted deformed arm looking over her shoulder. I love it so much. It's almost Ted McKeever-ish in a way. I don't know. It's like Beavis and Butthead on meth. How do you like that? I don't know. But it's so cool. Like, there's just something very compelling and just... I love his stuff. I'm a fan. Great storyteller. Just totally, as I've said before, the epitome of, like, underground indie comics. Right there, Dr.Ben Anthony. Such great, you know, color choices and just, I don't know, I'm with it. Inimitable, I love it. I love the color scheme you chose here, and this looks so good. Good job, Dr.Ben.
Love it.
For you 90s stoners out there.
This just felt... Yeah, this stuff I really like too. I love underground stuff, and this side of the book had tried to bring a lot of that feel into it, and I really appreciate it.
Wow. Yeah, that's Dr. Ben again, man. He had been away from comics for a long time, and now he's back. He's got these crazy colors.
Yes, I like.
Really great work. And some of it's like meta too, you know, it's got talking about Brubaker, Sean Phillips. This is like, he is in this. He's the guy with the chops and the bald head there in the top right. So like, you know,
that's the Broob.
Yeah. His hat. Yeah. Does Broob know about this? He would love this.
I don't know.
You can get $500 for the original art if that's on Bristol board out of Brubaker.
Dr. Ben is just yelling, "You're wrong," at caps. All right, but here's my larger point.
Yes. I gotta give Dr. Ben some props real quick. Thick Comics, because when he wrote to me, I think sometime last year about you know, because I write comic reviews and stuff like that in between everything, and like he hit me up, was like, you should do something like, you know, do like a interview thing, or like, I don't know, join the Comics Journal or something, right? And I kind of just took those words to heart and just kept going for it. So Tony, I'll be interviewing you very soon down the road. And
yeah. Well, me and the Lord, we got an understanding.
We're on a mission from God.
There we are.
So, folks, I was going to do a bit longer, but I see I got a guest in the back room, and it is the top of the hour, so we might as well go ahead and get started here. Good pal, your good friend, Dr. Ben, here with the news once again. The River was unable to make it today. See him had a sudden change in his schedule. It came up. So we're gonna have instead, not really instead, but you'll see.
So you're saying this is what they're doing out in the Midwest?
I call it the strange policy.
Best use of a butthole. But not in a way that's going to leave them permanently scarred, sir. They butt fucking responsible.
Sale is on. Have an entire month to fund my brand new 20-page Technicolor psychedelic nightmare comic book, Death to Strange.
There he is, one and only, still surviving, Kevin Strange, the Death to Strangeville in his hands. What's going on, sir?
I didn't realize I had my own fucking intro on the Dr. Ben show. That's awesome.
I was going to tell you, but then I was like, I think it'd be better to be like, oh, what? I get an intro? Yes, of course.
It's great. It's fantastic. That's almost as good as your 3D asset background.
I think I probably should take it off. Actually, now that I think about it, because what happens ultimately, I find is, you can just see the mess. What happens is that the computing power that it takes to run, the microphone, the headset, the video, and then the 3D assets, is too much over a period of time.
This is the smoothest intro I've ever seen on the Dr. Ben show. I mean, we're seamless. You went right this is actually debuted my brand new intro right into the thing. Great job. Things are looking up.
You can let me make sure. I think you can hear me, obviously, because we're communicating, but
make sure the internet can hear us. Make sure the AI that's scraping our identities as we speak can hear us.
Excellent. Yeah. Perfect. It does.
Although I assume the AI can read lips. So
it can figure out, second guesses a lot of what we'll say as well. Like you'll have a lot of just what is it?
I bet it would be easier for AI to read our lips than it is for the sign language motherfuckers to do Joe Biden. Did you watch that press conference he did a little bit ago? He did a press conference a little bit ago. People were speculating because his son Hunter was found guilty on some bullshit gun charge. He was found guilty for possessing or purchasing a firearm while addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
Now the whole time I'm only half paying attention because I don't give a fuck about politics in general, but certainly don't give a fuck about Hunter Biden because he's not a politician.
He's the president. Biden is the president.
He's the president's son, and he's not a politician, so it doesn't make any. It's just anyway.
You look at Donald Trump, though. He had Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump and the girl Trump. A lot.
He had him as part of the cabinet, though. Hunter's not part of the cabinet here.
He's not part of the cabinet.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying Trump officially had those guys. They were like official advisors and shit. It doesn't matter. I don't care about any of that. The point I was sitting here thinking about this, and I'm like, how do you legally claim someone is an addict of a substance? That's not something that can be measured scientifically. So I'm saying he was charged with a felony for possessing a firearm while under the addiction of illegal drugs.
Was he institutionalized at the time? Was he
no.
Was he about to be? Because it seems like there was something about
may have been charges against him for using or possessing an illegal substance, but the addiction to the substance is so subjective. That's subjective. That's such a subjective idea.
Wasn't that the point of them introducing the laptop to show? Look, here is documented his
a
video
smoking
blog
crack,
was smoking crack every day.
I could smoke crack right now. That doesn't mean I'm a crack addict. Like that's like something that's like an identifier. That's like you identify yourself as an addict. That's like only something you as a individual can identify as an addict. You can't be, someone can't tell you you're addicted to a substance. Like there's no test to do. You know what I mean? There's no scientific test to do to say, oh, this man is addicted to crack. And he purchased a firearm while addicted to crack.
Well,
now you could say
that the test then must be, if you, because that's what I'm saying, like the videos on the laptop was him like openly smoking crack over the course of like, and like, messing with
believe me, sir, I am no Hunter Biden apologist. I just think it's odd that you can be charged with being addicted to something. Can you be charged? I won't put that on you. Could I be charged with being addicted to pornography? Is there some, do we have some legal definition of, well, we've noticed that you've watched 757 pornographic videos over the course of 3 months. Therefore, we have come to the conclusion that you're addicted to pornography. Like, is there some arbitrary measurement of how much crack and for how long you must smoke it before you can be legally, by the law, by the state, declared a crack addict? Because as much as I dislike the Biden family, I dislike the entire state apparatus even more. So just the idea that someone could haul me in front of a judge and say, listen, you addict, you're getting a felony for being addicted to drugs while owning a firearm. It's like, because I might want to smoke crack, Dr. Ben, and I am a gun owner. I'm a legal gun owner.
Right.
And now I'm questioning whether or not I should smoke crack.
Because then if you're, legally also a crack addict, you can't then you're be prohibited. Yeah, no, he's got a valid point. I mean, despite the fact that the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed, there are limitations we put on it.
Keep in mind, that's the laptop that, 90-something alphabet agents said didn't exist and was Russian disinfo?
It's not really. This Russian disinformation is all it is. If you're sharing this and thinking about it, you are propagating Russian disinformation is what you're doing.
Was it a CNN or Morning Joe or MSNBC? Somebody was like, you're not allowed to share the contents of the Hunter Biden laptop on social media. Only we are, because we're journalists.
Right.
We're the professionals, so we're allowed to show these images, but you're not.
It was the same thing. Do you remember that was the same way it was with all the WikiLeaks shit?
The WikiLeaks shit, yeah.
When all that stuff was going on, all that
you're not allowed to share that. Only we're allowed to share that.
The Panama Papers wasn't that was around the same time as the WikiLeaks, but it wasn't like as big of a. That was just showing that they all had illicit financial accounts in like all sorts of different. It was like, this is what they've got that they specifically say they don't, and they will. It's
apparently there's in this trial. I don't know why we're talking about this. I was trying to get to the sign language fucking bitch trying to fucking sign for Joe Biden and his mumbling ass. How do you sign? What is that in sign language?
Yeah, they've got to have
corn bug.
Like the one when he was
Hairy
talking
legs.
about
Fuck you, fats.
one word sums up America's
Go Biden, my dearest son. Get me talking about something comics related, or we'll just fucking keep falling down this stupid rabbit hole.
Well, that's the thing is like I figured out how to put like I'll play the other seconds of intro music that will give you an idea what we might want to bring up.
Oh, you're being arrested? Oh, they're arresting a young Flipper. Oh shit! Yeah, he's being arrested.
you gonna do?
Okay.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you
Well, I
gonna
can't
do
cross
when
that
they
line
come
either,
for you? When you
they'll
were
arrest
8
me if
and
I
you
cross
had
this
bad
line.
traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why?
Chat, I need all the super chats for bail.
None of you seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you.
You're locked in here with me.
Did you add the cops to that? Is that you?
That was someone else that did the cops one. I did the shitty Watchmen
You did
one.
the Rorschach. Oh man, you already did a whole fucking like 3-hour live stream on this. You just want my take on it, or you
They're
want,
still going. They're still
is there
going. I
still
mean,
more information.
it never ends. It never ends. Like
The last
Eric,
thing I saw,
Eric July has come out to say that he didn't know anything about it at all.
yo, dog, I was in there playing, directing my artists to use 3D assets, dog. I didn't know nothing about that. Did he bring clippers with him, dog? Was he gonna shave me?
Like you saw, I showed you the video game thing too, that the one dude, what Suit did, where it was the video game of them fighting. Like, there's absolutely no way possible that Eric July was not like, Riley's here. I don't know who that is. Like, the guy that has been, what, he taped money to the warehouse, super chat money, because Eric refused to read his super chats on the air. And like, it is one of the funniest things. And this is the thing too, is that Riley is not like just like, he's one of the producers for whoever Dick Masterson is. Dick Masterson is like
Whoever Dick Masterson is.
apparently,
Whoever this motherfucker is. I don't have any idea who this motherfucker is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like, I see he has a show with a whole bunch of people that watches it, and he was on Dr. Phil at some point. And you know what I mean? Like, he seems like sort of like a shock jock from the 90s, but like but now, you know, he's the one that started the whole problem with Eric July and the did you read the comic? What's your favorite part? Because he was saying that he thought the ISOM comics looked bad, and they were like, no, they're good. And he's like, well, did you read them? This was all on the Stream Together, this Dick Masterson 90s shock rock style video podcaster, Eric July, creator of the Ripperverse, numerous other social media characters. And you know, the other social media people were like, well, no, we didn't read it. There's like, well, how can you say that it's good and it's the greatest thing, like, if you haven't read it? And so then that started all of them actually reading the comic and reviewing it, and like, with the ongoing fallout from that.
I just want to say that
Do you have the ISOM comics?
No, not my thing.
No.
I don't read comics I don't like. Which is it's a bizarre subculture. That's what I want to talk about. I posted something about it on Twitter earlier, but more or less, suffice to say, I think we live in one of the best boom eras of indie comics to have
Kind of
these types
roboting
of.
out, unless it's me again. It could be me. That's always the danger.
You're frozen on my. Am I frozen? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
We'll see if I can.
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Is it better? I think it fixed itself.
Can you see me? Yeah.
See if I can.
Yeah,
I can see you there.
So
Okay.
I think we're in one of the greatest, and I think we have been since about 2018. We've been in one of the greatest booms of indie comics, especially for crowdfunding, that we've seen in 20 years. And to the degree that somebody like Eric can come along and create this enormous amount of support for himself for these comic books, that to, you know, for all intents and purposes, are not great. You know, they're not great art. They're not great writing, but it's the beginning of the company. He's just starting out. Todd McFarlane was drugged through the fucking glass for his writing ability on Spawn. Rob Liefeld was dragged through the glass for his drawing ability on everything, including his Image stuff, but also back in his Marvel stuff, the infamous Captain America picture. And so I think that the internet was young or non-existent back when that was the last big indie boom, I guess. Like maybe you could say like Saga and Walking Dead was like a second wave of Image, like a second wave Image indie boom. But
yeah,
I think this maybe not bigger than the original. Like when the Walking Dead TV show hit, the comic book sales went crazy and it was huge. I don't know what those numbers are, but I assume they're more than.
Yeah, it's not at that level. It's not at that level. Like people, like moms, like everybody knew about Walking Dead. Like,
right. Well, they know about the show,
about...
but they didn't necessarily know about the comic. I'm wondering about, you know, comic sales. But we'll just say that, like, that we had the indie boom so we had the black and white boom, then we had the Image boom, and then we had the second bounce of Image, and now this is the biggest thing since I think that second bounce at Image with Saga and Walking Dead. And were there more books that were doing really well, indie books through Image? Those are the two big main ones that I could think of from that second bounce.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just putting it in terms of like, you know, numbers and stuff, I mean, there was definitely like, you know, good. Like there was the Prophet relaunch in like, what was that, 2012 or whatever, where it was Brandon Graham and all those people doing Prophet, and Sophie Campbell was doing Glory, like the Rob Liefeld's Glory character, and they did some sort of Bloodstrike relaunch too at the same time. And there was, you know, I mean, there was a couple different things like all kind of happening at once. I think because it was like 2012, so it was like, it was like 20 years. Image started in 92, so they were like, it's 2012, 20 years.
Well, and those might have had,
but it wasn't on the scale.
Those might have had
it
good
wasn't
sales.
on the scale of.
Those might have had good sales. They might have better sales than what this current wave of crowdfunding gets. But the people are fucking crazier than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Today. And the fact that there are these micro communities devoted specifically to trolling Eric July or to attacking Ethan Van Sciver from suing him to, I mean, they've come at him from every single direction, and
it's insane,
and many more. And so there's this entire subculture surrounding indie comics right now that is just the negative drama farming about these YouTube, because what's really weird about this era of indie comics and the crowdfunding comics is the crowdfunding comics audience comes almost exclusively from YouTube commenters and Twitter followers, and then that they like buy. They're not even. I wouldn't even necessarily say they read comics. They buy comics to own their like political and social enemies, and they buy or in this case, in the case of Eric July, they buy all of his comics so that they can say that he sucks at making comics. But I've never understood the crowdfunding art and then attack it and tell people not to. Like, you're not allowed, like scolding the audience of like, this is what you paid for, motherfucker. 3D assets up the ass. This is what you paid for. And it's like, the people aren't buying ISOM to read a comic book. They're buying ISOM to own the libtards, bro. They're, you know,
right.
Eric came from grifter YouTube and made a comic, and nobody gives a fuck about the comic. I don't want to say nobody, but a large portion of his audience doesn't give a fuck about the comic book. All they care about is owning the libs, bro.
Right.
So
we're
they don't
here
care
because
that
we're supporting Eric's comic. Yeah,
we're supporting the right side, bro. Be on the right side of history, yo. mainstream comics is whack, yo. Mainstream comics is full of gay. Didn't you know that? Like everybody's gay in mainstream comics, so we gotta buy this one. They don't care. They don't read it. But again, like another huge YouTube grifter that has made a fuck ton of money making comics is your boy Zach, and he got big by buying mainstream comics and saying they were bad. Like there's there's like a whole industry surrounding criticizing comic books and that you don't like. buying, supporting, and criticizing comics you don't like. And all that says to me is that it is an extremely healthy period for independent comics. If there can be an entire culture of haters as part of your support system that keep your fucking bills paid, because the worst thing that can happen to any industry is nobody's paying attention to it. And so to me, this fucking weirdo that apparently pees on himself on OnlyFans, gets
I don't know.
himself
I'm not
arrested.
sure about the piss stuff. I haven't watched that.
Pissgate 2.0. Gets
That's the
himself
same
arrested
thing
out-
the Saskas were doing, though.
peeing on themselves.
That's what they say. The Saska sisters were peeing on themselves too. That's what they say about them.
Really? If I was a pee guy, I'd check that out, but I'm not a pee guy.
It's a common thread, you know. Like it's.
So you're saying well, wait, maybe that's the bridge that can be built between the haters and the Eric July supporters, is that they all like to piss on each other.
No, I can see that. That's what I'm saying. That there'd have to be like a explicit contract.
A golden stream. Everyone crosses the golden stream to hold hands and make up with each other. No, this guy is a fucking idiot, obviously, and
he's
funny. All he says to me is that indie comics are in a great place if weirdos like that can be that obsessive with a guy making mediocre comics. Like, imagine if Eric was making great comics. What the haters would have to like end him. They have to just like physically remove him from planet Earth because they wouldn't be able to handle this guy makes great comic books and I hate him. Because that's like the main the thing that amuses me the most about all the haters, whether it be Eric haters or your boy Zach haters, because his comics get criticized exactly the same way. Yeah. And or Ethan's haters, is none of them, not a single one, zero of these people can say, I don't like the politics or the social behavior of this individual, but as an artist, he is top notch. That no one gives props
It's always
to people
personal.
they don't like. They never give props to people they don't like. If they don't like you, your art fucking sucks, bro. Your little fucking 3D assets, bro. Can you fucking believe they fucking draw 3D assets in their comic books?
Ethan voted for Trump and he sucks.
You paid for this. You paid it and they traced it. They didn't even bother tracing it. They just colored over it. I just find that funny. It's funny to me that they act like they care. Like they
no, it's always, there's always just the double standard, because like they cover Dave Sim. You know about Dave Sim. That's one of the books. That's one of the books we gotta go over. You have that like Turtles 8 or whatever with him or whatever. I want to see that. But Sim was supposed to look at or was supposed to write Cyberfrog, right? When they first canceled Ethan, right? Okay. Dave Sim was gonna help him with writing some of it. And, he announced it like, I'm gonna have Dave Sim's gonna come on, help me write some Cyberfrog. I'm gonna be doing a new Cyberfrog. Now that I'm not working with DC, so this was like 2018, 2017, or whatever.
I explicitly remember this. I was following,
and they were like, Dave Sim. Oh, do you know about Dave Sim? He is a fucking creep. And they're like, look at all this stuff. He's this and that.
Well, Dave did it. Dave did it to himself. Dave fucking. Dave
right.
fucking,
well, and I mean, I don't care.
He pinned his own cancellation. He was like, I had. It was wrong of me to talk to this.
Oh,
she
yeah,
came to my table when she was 16. We
14.
corresponded.
14.
Was it 14? We corresponded until she became legal, and then we had sex. Can you believe it? Can you believe I did that? And yeah, Ethan was like, I'm not working with Dave Sim anymore. Never mind.
Right, but he didn't, and this is the thing too, is Ethan didn't make like a big deal of it. It was more that like they made a big deal of it. You know what I'm saying? Like to cancel him from like Ethan or whatever, to be like, look, you can't work with him. He's a PDA, blah, 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 But they still cover Dave Sim all the time. He's been all his Kickstarters and stuff. All the people that were like that about Dave Sim's potentially working with Ethan have gone on to like still enjoy Dave Sim comics. And if you were to like bring it up,
I was surprised when I saw that Turtles 8 relaunch through Kickstarter, because I thought Dave was completely blacklisted from ever being able to work in comics again. And that Turtle 8 run that I Kickstarted, that I backed, I think did like $75,000. That's a healthy fucking. I mean, for Ninja Turtles, I guess it's pennies, but for Dave Sim, I mean, I probably paid some bills. Although I think Dave's pretty fucking rich from that initial service.
He's not like starving or nothing up there. I mean, who knows? But again, he doesn't have a phone or a computer or something. You can only contact him by.
He's got a phone now, because he did a phone interview with Kevin Eastman when he was doing that Turtles 8 promotion, but it was very lo-fi. He had like the phone on speaker and recording it somehow, but he still has to he has like a guy that uploads for him. Like, he does not upload anything to the internet.
I mean, that's, what I'm saying? Like, when you really look at that, that's kind of genius. You know what I mean? Like, you've just, okay, this is the only way I'm going to interact. And you still have like a whole bunch of people that
I think about doing that all the time. Just pulling the plug entirely and just keeping the comics archive updated. And the only way you can fucking ever interact with me at all. But the thing is, it's like that. There's our generation. Well, the current like way the internet works and the way that insidious algorithms work on our brains is that fear of missing out. If I turn off the internet, then I'm missing out on the internet. Oh my God, but what about my fucking dopamine addiction of seeing the news feed scroll something new every 10 seconds? It's like, I would love to. I've been thinking about abandoning the internet pretty regularly all month, because it's Gay Pride Month. So it's, one of my biggest pet peeves in life before the internet ever existed was fucking virtue signaling douchebags that and it used to be religious folk.
Right.
Back in the early 90s, it was religious folk that just spewed it all over everybody. You'd be walking in a parking lot on a Wednesday night, and the youth group would get out of church and chase you down in a Taco Bell parking lot and be like, let me tell you a little bit about Jesus Christ. Yo, I've got good news. Let me tell you the good news about Jesus. And, for me, Pride Month on the internet is the equivalent of that. It's like everything has to be fucking gay all month long. And it's like, how many fucking years have we done this? Like, we get it. Everything's gay. It's fantastic. Love is fucking love. Love is. Did you guys know? I know we did this last year, but did you guys know love is still love? Isn't that fucking shocking?
It is.
I can't bear it. And so all month I've been like, I just want to fucking turn the whole thing off. And so it has nothing to do with homophobia. It's the idea that you think waving a flag, not you, but people think waving a flag with 30 colors on it makes you a good person. Like I saw a car today. I was driving, and the car passed me and had a trans flag like on the what do you call that? The fucking sunscreen, and was like pulled out and like facing outward, and so it was like in my face. I'm getting trans flagged as I'm driving by, and I'm just like,
right.
Just having that thing doesn't make you a good fucking person. But it's in this generation believes, or this world we live in, it's like gay equals good, and there's nothing. Yeah. It's that shallow. It's that fucking shallow. There's nothing to it. Like, as long as you're gay, as long as you support gay, you're a good person, and that's just nonsense. It's obvious nonsense. It's when I remember being in 8th grade. And we had, back then they had what's called social studies class. And I remember reading about wartime propaganda and sloganeering. sloganeers and using slogans to like change the public opinion about war or support for different war tactics or whatever. And even in 8th grade, I remember looking at that going, nobody would fall for that. That's like it's like dumbed down to like kindergarten level. It's like might is right. Like what was be like Ike. Be like Ike. It's like those little fucking slogans. There's no way they worked on people. They fucking worked on people. And this is just modern propaganda. And it amazed me when I was a little kid that worked on people, and it amazed me today when I drove by and saw a fucking trans flag in a car. It's just like the little fucking slogan doesn't make you a good person, but they believe it does. It's like a shield. Like, as long as I'm gay, I'm protected from every criticism.
Everything you say is protected then too. Like you can do no wrong. Literally,
and everything I'm saying right now is going to prevent me from ever having a cartoon on Cartoon Network or Adult Swim. Yes. So I'm literally fucking myself in real time as I speak right now. And again, I don't hate gay people. I have a fucking gay sister. I don't give a shit about fucking people's sexuality, but it will be taken as that because there is no fucking nuance in today's culture. You can't have an opinion that isn't fucking black and white and extreme left or extreme right.
If you had, are you on your computer?
Yeah, I'm on my computer right now.
We need to get you the thing where it does a filter where it turns you into a cartoon. That's what you gotta do.
Cancels me in real time. Just erases.
Yeah,
erases my fucking.
Turns you into a cartoon of yourself, so you can just it's just a cartoon now. Like you have entered the cartoon universe by being just using the AI. That's what they don't want. They want to keep people like that's one thing like I've noticed it's like they've been trying to do that with AI stuff. Like you've seen like obviously just the amount of people like upset. It's so horrible. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing it. Or they kick people out of conventions for having AI stuff, right? And like it has had zero impact on anything that the companies are actually doing. Like all of this, they've just been like, okay, well, and they just do it anyways. Like Adobe just came out with the thing where like all your stuff is now for training their AI.
Yeah, and Sony said the same thing, that they're pushing all their resources towards using AI to enhance movies.
Yeah, no one is gonna. That's what I'm saying. They're not gonna like not do it.
You're saying the anti-AI movement is a
dead in the water.
It's a limp dick. There's no.
It's a distraction. They're not.
I was actually going to say when we came live that I'm working on a new comic, and I'm trying to in real time. I'm trying to finish the comic faster than AI can scrape it and rip it off and post it on the internet before me. The AI Kevin Strange. It's going to be like dueling artists and musicians. Like we're all going to be fighting the digital version of ourselves to try to fucking keep our intellectual property.
I like see that's what I'm saying. It's like you gotta like it's not you can't escape it. Whatever it is, whatever the AI stuff is, they're just doing it. So it's like you've gotta.
Well, I think a lot of it is it's very much
on it.
I think a lot of what AI is right now, and make no mistake, art is fucked. Art is fucked. But I think AI in general, like as a normie mainstream interface, like Meta recently introduced all these fucking AI tools that are just cluttering up your shit. Instead of a search button, now you have to talk to this fucking what they call an AI, but is still just a fucking search button. But now they're calling they decided that searching on the internet is AI. And there's no difference between what their search engine was before and what it is now. What it is the branding.
Right.
Companies, tech bros are terrified to be left behind and be the company that isn't embracing AI, even though it's an arbitrary term. It doesn't mean anything. It's a generic term to encompass all computing. Computing itself is artificial intelligence. The idea of computing is AI. If you break it down to the simplest fucking terms, ask Jeeves. was a fucking AI interface.
How long have people been saying, like, man, every time I talk about something, the phone shows me an ad for it in 5 minutes. People have been bitching about that for like the last 10 years.
Yeah, as if that's not machine learning. That's fucking AI. And so it's a marketing thing. It's trying to push it out and make every product has to have AI in it, like you said, as if it's not already been that way for years. They're just rebranding computing. They're just rebranding fucking computing, which is what it all is and what it all always has been. But
we don't want them.
I don't know I don't even know where I was going with it, other than I know art's fucked though, because broccoli haired Zoomers don't give a fuck about movies. They don't give a fuck about music. They don't give a fuck about they care about video games, but they care about video games in so much as, you know, in another 5 years they'll be able to prompt a computer to give them their own video game experience, and it's going to be unique to them. And the industry is going to grow around these fucking kids that make their own video games, and then people will watch that. They're make no mistake. There's going to be like Microsoft and Xbox, like Xbox and fucking PlayStation and all that. Those are eventually going to be 3D AI programs. I don't know why I said 3D. AI software that you prompt to give you a video game experience unique to you. You understand? Movie companies, studios are going to be like, if you like Fox, you can create AI movies for yourself with AI intellectual property. If you like the X-Men, you have to buy the fucking Fox Studios AI, and then you can prompt to be given a movie experience.
Yeah, like
using their copyrighted characters. For Marvel Comics is going to become an AI.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Piece of software where if you want a comic book, you don't have to buy somebody that wrote and drew these Marvel Comics characters. You can just say Wolverine fucks Deadpool up the ass. Give me a 32-page comic, and it will build you that if you pay the subscription fee. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Marvel Studios is going to in fact, that'll be part of the Disney bundle. The Disney bundle, you'll be able to make Disney princess shows and movies, Star Wars shows and movies, all the comics that they own. You know, HBO will have the DC and Warner Brothers. You'll have the Warner Brothers AI app that will give you Batman and Superman movies and comics and shit like that. That's the future. That's like, there will not be artists. Broccoli-haired Zoomers are not going to give a fuck about you and me. We're going to be out here trying to make analog art, busting our asses, and AI is going to be able to create a user experience like that.
There we go. So I was just sharing that thing with this over to.
Sorry, I'm just deleting all of my. I'm deleting all of my comics because it's fucking over. Excuse me while I delete my entire fucking art portfolio over the last 30 years because there's no fucking point in even pretending anymore that they're gonna buy our fucking stuff.
Well,
because imagine, because think about it, Warner Brothers is going to be able to, or let's just say DC Comics. DC Comics has what, 75 years to scrape. They can use their own AI and scrape 75 years worth of comics. And so when you prompt it, they can give you anything.
And whenever you use it, you're going to be, by buying the program to make your own DC AI comics, you're giving them license to use whatever you make with the program.
Yeah, but you got to understand, nobody's going to care about what you make. Like the Dr.Ben.
No, I'm saying that they're going to be able to say, okay, you want to buy the Marvel module, right? You want to make, you're going to do, okay, well, because you bought it, that means you've agreed that anything you make in it, we can use, right? So they can monetize anything. They can take anything you make, put it into the movie, put it into the show.
But I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be general audience shows and movies. is what I'm saying.
Yeah, those,
Like I don't think there'll be
it'll
any. I don't think there'll be any value to your prompt. Like once you read it, it's just going to fuck off and disappear. I guess you
I
can
don't
like
know.
download. Maybe you can like download a PDF of it to your phone so you can read it, whenever you want. That they can then delete off your phone like they do like iTunes. When iTunes fucking an artist leaves iTunes, they just rip the music off your fucking devices the next time you do an update. That's all it's going to be. Like, I just don't think there's going to be value in individual prompted stories because everybody's going to be able to do their own. You get your Marvel story, I get my Marvel story, and so does 7 billion other people on the planet. There's not going to be it's going to be a fundamental change in how we interact with media. All media is going to be a personalized experience for you.
Well, I mean, I think there's still going to be people that want like the the boutique old timey style comic. You know what I mean? It's just going to be
people. There are people that still collect. There are record store F words that still collect vinyl records, for example. So yeah, there'll be a niche boutique audience for analog storytelling, but mainstream normie broccoli haired Zoomer fucking people not gonna give a fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's like a normal 15-year-old that listens to music, has a not Pandora, but has a Spotify subscription, and they stream have never owned an album in their life. They've never owned a CD. They don't care about albums. They care about songs. They only listen to songs. They only listen to the popular trendy songs that Spotify has on like the top 15 list, like the rotation. So that fundamentally changed, like how we consume music fundamentally changed in the digital age.
Right.
And I'm saying that's exactly, but the same thing's going to happen to music, where if you like fucking, P. Diddy, I don't know why I just came up with that name. That's a terrible name to grab right now. If you like 50 Cent, you'll be able to prompt AI and make your own 50 Cent song. He'll have sold the rights to his voice very soon. I'm telling you, the musicians are going to do this in the next couple of years. They're going to sell the rights to their fucking voices, and then you're going to be able, because I think music will be the first. I think when this wave hits of user generated media, I think music is going to be the first place we see it, because music is so easy. Like, it doesn't, because movies and shows and games, they still require a lot of computer power to create that with AI. But a song, like a voice, it barely takes anything. Like, you can do that in seconds. You can almost create a song in real time.
They've got like an AI song thing now where like you type in, you put in the lyrics, or you can have it generate them off of what you input and like the style and and then it'll generate they're pretty goofy. I'll get like I don't know if you follow that Sheila Aliens character. She does a lot of weird AI stuff for and just puts it on Twitter, right? She's sort of like one of the commentators or stage hands. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the people like helping run different shows, and like she always is like posting these like weird AI songs. Let me pull one up because you will understand exactly what I'm saying. Like if you hear one of them, because they're so goofy, but it's like I can see like exactly what you're saying, that like who's gonna want to have go and buy, check out this and that. Hey, you know what? This is the kind of music I want. Like I just want this is her. Yeah, she has a whole bunch of these songs that she's done. I'll try like sharing it, because it's gonna be the Is this? I don't think this is the one I'm thinking. But they're all, you know, you put in like just. Let's see, is this it? Oh. Random noise mute, like scrolling through, but she had one about pies. That's the one I think I'm looking for. She had one about like Ethan eating pies, just like can't copyright any of it, so it's just it sounds like music is like something else. That's what I'm saying. It's just AI, whatever, Suno AI, whatever. Bird turd. What is that? It's not bad. It's not bad.
You turned it all the way down. I can't hear it.
Oh, can you not hear it? I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus. And then I messed it up again. Hold on. Okay. That's too loud. I don't know.
Oh, higher. 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 Giving it a little like there, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Drop her some love.
Great song.
Great song.
Shikla.
Great song, Shikla. Just post it just like that.
Okay.
Put the eye back in.
Oh, well, I don't want to confuse her too much. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's in mine, it's like it's too loud. I can't like even think over it.
It's barely. I can barely hear it.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna pause it then. But that's what I'm saying. She has a whole bunch of ones like that. Like I said, one about Ethan eating pies. You know, like one about. Oh, is this it? Pie guy.
Don't call me fat, but I know they're just lying about that. My Peloton shows the truth. That's a fact. It doesn't get much use, perhaps, but
there it is.
Still eat pies and cookies. The size of the moon is my food and my waistline. My mood is good when I make mine sugar and key lime pie. Makes me feel sky high. The name is Ethan of the Van Skyver Queen. I've got.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to inflict the song on everyone. If you're not an Ethan Van Skyver fan, that would turn you off of it. But if you were, you know, you're like, well, I'll go check it out.
I mean, so that's a novelty right now. You know, that's just for fun or whatever. But that's eventually going to be how all teenagers listen to music, and they'll just put like when they click random, it's going to be random lyrics from a random artist, and none of it's going to be real. Because these artists are just going to have signed away their license, their likeness to an AI company, and so they don't have to do any work. They just get paid to have existed.
Do you hear something?
No,
you don't. It sounds almost kind of like the river.
Is he a man that dreamt he was a river, or a river that dreamt it's a man?
both answers are correct.
Is he a man that dreamt?
There he is. Maybe he's trying. I think he's trying to connect, trying to make it through the
AI.
Oh, he is at the river. He's
on location at the river.
I don't know if you can hear. There he is. What's going on, Sam? This is fantastic.
I'm just at the river with my cat, Marlin, named after Marlon Brando. Yeah, the river is that way.
There he is.
I don't know. Some crazy shit happened with my ex and my friend and stuff. Like, she checked herself into the freaking hospital or something, and is on some kind of suicide watch thing. It's kind of like this annoying attention grabbing behavior type of thing. Oh, she's got issues.
Well,
But
I mean,
we all do, I guess. I don't know.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, talking with them is always, I find,
right. And so I stuck behind. I stuck behind to just keep my friend company because he was currently dating my ex or whatever. And yeah, and that's just kind of the situation or whatever. So that's why I'm good back today.
In a weird frame of mind, definitely. Like, it can stress you out having to to deal with. I feel you.
All of that, yeah. Yep, pretty nuts.
Well,
yeah. So what you guys talking about? Sorry to bring all that in here.
More interesting than what we were talking about.
Music being run by AI.
Oh.
Music being the first casualty of the AI takeover.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I've been doing little projects with it. I've been typing stuff that I've written down into it. There's a message thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving away too much information to the AI overlords or something. I don't know. But it was just kind of a little curiosity that I did. I'm not going to make a big habit of it, but it's just what's all this AI stuff that everybody's talking about?
I'm just going to give up. I'm going to be one of the early adopters of it. I'm going to dump everything I've ever made into AI and charge people to prompt AI to get the Kevin Strange experience.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is
AI only ever trained off of Kevin Strange stuff.
Thing because honestly, it gives you compliments, and it's almost makes you feel good.
I think it might be he has a bad
about what you're doing, because it's oh, this is a very interesting, and it talks about what.
You have a pretty bad connection. Like we only hear about like every fourth or fifth word. I think it's because you're down like just off your cell signal, so it's gonna be like pretty rough. Because you have like Wi-Fi up at the house, don't you? But they're up at the house.
Oh, yeah. I probably shouldn't be down by the river if I want to get a good connection, is like what you're saying.
Yeah. It's like, it's weird. Like it's coming and going, and it'll be like you'll be there for a second, and then it'll just completely drop out, and it'll be like, and it's like,
Yeah, you're fine right now, which is weird.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I forget what I was saying. Something about AI and feeding some of the stuff I've written into it, or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, well, like, you know, if I can't read it to somebody or whatever, I'll just like feed something into the AI, and like it will just tell me what it thinks, disjoint into like the character's mind perspective, and like, or what, telling you good job, you know. I don't know.
it said I can adjust your settings. I'm trying that to see if that helps. I don't know. I wonder if it could have been the maybe it's the echo cancellation. What the hell was that?
No,
like
my cat's here. I kind of want him to go like on my so you can all see him though. But
I think you're on to something with that.
What's that?
The echo cancellation, because when we talk, he just turns into pixels.
Yeah,
like it's trying to cancel us out while he's talking.
It's possible. It's weird because it's like it'll, like you said, like he'll be there for a second.
As long as we're quiet, he's in real time.
Brando or Marlon, you said.
Yeah.
So that's a live view. Let me put it on the. Yeah, so that's his cat. It's good. It's good. Well, do you guys want to like just keep kind of like talk like a conversation, or should we go over like that's what I'm saying? I've got all kinds of like weird, serious
cat friend.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So you've been going over the AI. You've been some guy.
Talk about
Hello?
Like one thing too, we could check and see if he's if there's any updates. I haven't checked in a while too.
There's the pros here though.
You're still breaking up pretty bad. Can you you can't hear him either, can you, Mr. Strange?
No.
I'm not in anything right now.
When he breaks up for you, he's breaking up for me too.
Okay. Yeah, because they were discussing it last night.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of dropped by to hear what you guys were doing or saying, you know, but like, you know.
Let's see. Let me play. This is my whole point with it, is that as strange as it might be, him going there and going to the restaurant and whatnot. This is the clip from Eric.
Behind a fucking microphone and a camera, like I'm giving, because the fact that people ain't pulling up, I don't understand it. I'm giving y'all public. I'm giving y'all where I'm at, not hiding behind a fucking microphone and a camera. Like, I'm giving you where I'm at. Let's hash it out. Let's talk about it. Let's be men. Let's do confrontation. Because the fact that people.
So like he's like that's the Eric that I've seen interacting with this guy. And apparently that was what they arrested him, was because of whatever with the warehouse before. He had went to the warehouse and taped money on the windows. It's hard to follow all of it, is what I can say. It's hard to follow. It wasn't that he was necessarily arrested by maybe it was like the restaurant complained. Police came, talked to him, and he was like, I love the Ison comic. I'm giving out copies of it.
No, Dr. Ben, we were talking about like people at restaurants and being rude at restaurants or whatever, right? I guess that would qualify as being rude at a restaurant.
That's true. That's true. And like, how do I go to
or whatever he's making a scene at a restaurant.
Oh, Jesus. It's getting like actually
Is it
You're right, man.
one of
yeah.
those guys, or what's that? It's bringing
I couldn't make
back
out
memory.
Let me put that back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was I couldn't get any of that. It's just
okay.
Horrible. Horrible. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe I should drop out.
Try exiting and coming back in. Try that. Like exit and come out and come back in. Sometimes.
Right.
All right. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know if we should do. I'll just spring all this other stuff. Wait a second. Are these not even? None of the bookmarks I set are even here. Oh wait, this is it. Okay. Yeah, so this could be not like that. Okay, hold on. Let me try.
So you're saying Eric is a hypocrite because he wants
Yeah.
motherfuckers to pull up, pull up. Let's handle this like men, and then he has them arrested. So you think that's a bitch move on Eric's part? He should have gone out in the parking lot and fist fought Riley, and they both should have gone to jail together, and then he would have kept his integrity.
And then he would have been able to keep his integrity. He should have gone out. Oh wow! Hold on. This is perfect. Okay.
So
Let
is
me.
this Is this breaking news?
Well, no, because this is. Wow, it's actually 2 days old now. This is video of. This. No, I thought it was funny. It has integrity officers over here, and we're talking about integrity. This is this
SJW Captain America. That guy's a real fucking winner.
He is a goofball, but that's what he even says here.
SJW Captain America.
Oh well.
And SJW Spider-Man.
And SJW Spider-Man. Okay, well, he says he's not even a fan of Alex Stein or Young Klippa. But this clip doesn't scream annoying guests or posing any threat. So for a fake tough guy who constantly called for police to pull up, Eric July showed he's a bitch-made coward. And I don't know, is that like a slur to call someone a fuck mook?
A fuck mook?
What it is?
That sounds like a racial slur.
A fuck mook. He's a bitch-made
That sounds like
coward
a racial slur, sir. That's hateful.
It might be. I'm sorry. Well, I'm trying to.
This is what I don't understand. Like SJW Spider-Man, he obviously wants you to buy somebody's comic. Whose comic does Captain America? Whose comic does SJW Captain America want you to buy? Who's he shilling for?
Not
He ain't
Ison.
shilling for
He doesn't
nobody.
want-
He ain't shilling for nobody.
Maybe not.
Who's he want you to?
maybe he just wants you to buy Marvel comics. He's saying that
right.
His response
So if
is just to the initial complaint against Marvel and DC and everything.
So
he's saying no, they're good.
They're good. These are great. All this gay shit in these comics being written by weirdo wine ants and drawn by whoever from fucking these no-name Scandinavian artists that work for fucking
A lot of
$4
Brazilian
a page or
people
something.
too.
Yeah,
A lot
the
of this-
Brazilians that all work for fucking pennies on the dollar compared to American artists. What he's saying is that's all good. And so because Eric July told a guy, come fight me, and then didn't, therefore, fuck you, buy Marvel Comics, because I'm not going to go buy a gay Marvel comic because Eric July is being shown as a hypocrite on the internet. That's my whole thing with all this is like, what's your fucking point, dude? Well, my point is go buy a fucking Marvel comic. It's like, no, I'm not going to buy a Marvel comic because Eric July is a bitch. That's not going to happen. Do you know how many?
Right.
I mean,
Well, you
every
disagree
rapper,
with Eric, so
every rapper
right.
you've ever fucking listened to in your life is a bitch in this. Do you remember the Eminem ICP beef? Eminem was accused of running up on one of ICP's crew with an unloaded gun. Should I never listen to an Eminem song again? Should I never buy an Eric July? Here's my question to you, Dr. Ben. Should I never buy another Eric July comic because he didn't fight this guy?
Well, I don't think he should have fought him. I don't think that's the answer. I think he should have been like, hey, come in, have a beer. So, not apologize, but like make peace.
But Eric wants to fight. So if he came in, hold on. If I get on the internet and go, pull up, motherfucker, pull up, and the dude pulls up and I go, oh shit, dog, come on in and let's have a beer. Doesn't that still make me a bitch? Oh, that was just internet shit, bro. I don't really want to fight. I just want to have a beer with you, bro. Let's talk it out. Doesn't that still make me a bitch?
Well, I mean, it's to a point, but at the same point, like I think a lot of it is in like kayfabe, like sort of wrestling terms. So I mean, if that's what you want, like let's say you're like a professional boxer, right? Like, or maybe not professional, but an amateur.
I have a personal anecdote I could tell you about a similar situation. There's a guy, this is a long time ago. I used to throw house parties, and this guy brought a girl over. They weren't like together, whatever. And she ended up wanting to hook up with me. And he got wind of it, and he called me on the phone and said he was going to cut my head off with a sword. And I said, all right, well, go ahead and come over and cut my head off with your sword, dude. And he said, no, I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to do it when you least expect it. And I said, whatever. And a couple months went by, and he never cut my head off. And I was having another house party, and he rolled up. He showed up at my house party, and he walked in the door. And I said, oh, hey, you finally came to cut my head off. And he went, no, man, that's all good. I said, no, it's not all good to call me and threaten to murder me. I took my shirt off and I grabbed my bottle of tequila and I said, meet me in my front yard and cut my fucking head off, motherfucker. And he said, no, man, it's all good, dude. I just came over to squash that shit. And I said, okay, everybody, do you hear that? This fucking dude is no longer going to cut my head off. And I shook his hand in my fucking kitchen, and that was that. But that was me saying, I'm willing to do this your way. And he backed down. So in this scenario with Eric's saying, pull up, motherfucker, pull up. Let's do this like men. Let's handle this. It needs to be on the other guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Eric needs to, Eric's the guy that Eric has to back down. Eric has to go out and be like, no, dog, no, I don't really, because that dude needs to come up and be like, I pulled up, dog, I pulled up, right? Which is what he did.
Oh, yeah. That's
Eric needs to handle his business, right? So in this scenario, Eric's a bitch. So that's what I'm asking is like, how does Eric keep his integrity in this situation? Because he's the aggressor. Eric's the aggressor, being like, come on, motherfucker, let's pull up and act like men. So Eric's the aggressor. It's on him to escalate or de-escalate the situation. How does Eric keep his integrity in this? Because obviously calling the cops on this dude ain't it. And Eric's now a hypocritical bitch.
Yeah,
and we should never buy his comics again.
They've actually, there is footage of Riley after he was arrested, because this is footage of him.
3D assets is one thing. Talking shit, not backing it up, that's a fucking bridge too far.
But
never buy his comics again.
We need to take a look at this. This is footage of inside the jail with
Breaking
Riley.
news.
Yeah, that was
Let me pose
Under,
another philosophical question to you, Dr. Ben.
under guard.
How what is this guy call himself?
Young Klippa.
Young Klippa.
Yes.
How does Young Klippa's antics hurt or help the integrity of comic books, indie comics in general? Is this guy hurting or helping the independent comic book community as a whole, in your opinion?
I think he's helping it because they're honestly, like, so much of the promotion and discussion about comics, right, has gone into this like YouTube style back and forth, you know, like PBS NewsHour kind of stuff. Like, to have something where it's comics, where it's like Mad Magazine, Cracked Magazine, all the, you know, like all the underground stuff where they're just like, I mean, how much of Crumb stuff, if you like tried to act it out, would get you like arrested? You know what I'm saying? So it's that
ain't making satirical comics of Eric July, and they'd be hilarious if he did. But that would bolster the integrity of indie comics. These antics is that really helping? This isn't comic book related.
It's like a fun version of Siskel and Ebert. You know what I mean? Think of like Siskel and Ebert. Like, one of them, I do know one of them made a movie that was not good, but I also think that
Roger Ebert co-wrote the script to Valley of the Dolls. That's considered like a B movie. Yeah.
Was it? Well, Valley of the Dolls 2, right?
Was it 2? Yeah.
I think it was the second one. Okay. Well, if that's what he did, then that's cool. Like, that makes him kind of cool, like really cool, actually. You know,
I like Roger Ebert. I don't hate on that guy. I followed his reviews all the way up till he died, when he was like that fucking no jaw, crazy looking fucking.
Yeah, that's no. I'm not like, I don't mention him to say like that he was wrong or anything, but to say like, rather than just being like reviews and interactions, interviews and stuff where they're just everybody's sitting down, like Riley's like doing all this, running out there. The girl does. That's what I'm saying. They have a whole channel of like whatever their other shit is,
peeing on themselves,
and it's peeing on themselves. You know, that I think that kind of comes back to what we were initially saying, that with the Saska sisters, that might be the bridge, right? To say, listen, I think you guys, if it's actual fact that they have done all these things to Riley, filed harassment charges or whatever, if that is in fact Eric Jolian and his associates of some his business partners, right?
Wouldn't it be more productive to just draw parody comics of Eric July and his antics?
There's a bunch of them. That's what I'm saying. There's a whole bunch of like this stuff like never ends. Like let me stop sharing this for a second. See all the weird stuff I look at on here. Well, actually, that was the local horror story, but a
local horror story.
Local horror story. Now, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to like get too far into that kind of. Where the heck is it? There's one that I just liked that was like, it has Eric as the Karen, like the one that's like calling the people at the park, has him dressed up as her or like drawn like her. I guess that's how you would say it. Man, I like too many things on here. I think it's probably what it is. But no, that's what I'm saying. It's like he's just another aspect of that. Like I said, he's like a producer for the Dick Masterson show. I mean, he's part of it is being the character that other people are like illustrating. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I'm saying with him too, is there's all these pictures of him that now people are doing or have been doing. The same as like what's his face, Cecil or whoever. You know what I mean? Like Cecil started his show the other day with just like a montage of like all the fan art, right? Of people drawing Cecil as this and that. And like, you know, it's inspiring. Like me, I was like, people, they really love him. They really love Cecil. He's not. What's this I'm saying? Like, does he? And the other thing too is that I am not convinced at all. Oh, I guess Sam is gone. I am not convinced at all that the people that do all the like Eric July criticism streams, all the Rippaverse criticism, like hours and hours of this. I'm not convinced that those people are not like paid opposition in some fashion. Like, look, I'll give you $200 a show. You have to do 2 hours and have a couple guests on there and just detract, as they call it, go on there, criticize the comics, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, but keep it on point of like, this is what you're going to be criticizing: the art, the story. You don't like you know what I mean? Like, you control the opposition rather than them finding who might be your sponsors or who, I'm saying things like that. Like, I can't be convinced that that's not the case with a lot of us, that it's not like a legitimate business in the sense that it's being sponsored by the Blaze. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has the backing of his employer, the Blaze. So it's ultimately like, it's not going to go under unless they want. But
you're saying it's a well-funded operation.
And I mean, he has like a fan base too. It's not like, he was doing his fan political commentary, Spider-Man commentary about how he didn't like, all the different comics or whatever back before they launched Rippaverse, right? Like that's the thing that a lot of people have for their complaint, is that before he launched Rippaverse, he's all, right-wing, libertarian, like, I'm sick of all this, all the woke stuff is ruining Spider-Man. That was his approach to everything. And, now that he has his own comic company, the criticism is that he is letting all the things he was railing against into his company, right? Like, that's, I don't know, like with the Saska sisters or whatever, I don't know those people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't really make like a unbiased opinion of them. I don't know. I've never heard of them before this. I'm not really interested in going and reading their comic, their Black Widow comic or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so that's like, I don't really care so much. I think it's just funny with them because, like, the same thing, like they got, you saw the chewing gum commercial they did, right?
No. Well, yes.
A double pleasure's waiting for you. A double pleasure from Double Mint Gum. A double great feeling, making you realize Double Mint's the one for you. Double fresh, double
If it's meant to be a death blow.
Like, it's got the holy mountain.
I can't find Pissgate 2.0 about the subs because I just did a brief little search and I don't see anything like that about them.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I think that might just be part of the just the effect of like constantly going back and forth on all these, is that it just becomes like, well, they did piss porn. Really? Well, I guess so. Well, they said they did.
I don't think they did. Maybe they did. I don't know. I couldn't find it.
Well, there was pictures of them doing the, I guess, incest porn, because they're supposed to be twins and they're kissing and making out and got blood. Like, I know I've seen that. Like, I've seen.
I didn't see that either.
It's
maybe modern search engines are garbage, so I can't ever really find anything I'm looking for.
Yeah, I can't find a lot of the stuff I used to remember like seeing. Like, I remember like back in 2016 doing a lot of different historical like research stuff, and a lot of that just gets, just gone. There was one I just saw on my Facebook. I had like something I had published on like a website or whatever. And it was like, it had been a link to like the story. Maybe it was like an online blog where they would publish like pieces from people, like it was, it was Joss Olsson. That guy, he did the wrestling book a couple years ago. Good guy. But it was an article I had on there and it was just in 2018, and it was already gone. Like the link had changed or whatever, and I was just like, So that's something I thought too. Like I should do like a collection of all the dumb stuff I've written. Like there's a whole bunch of different websites, all those bizarro things. I had like an article or two on someone's site, or like my own blog where I did all the reviews. Like in theory, someone would want to read all that, you know.
Right.
And two, you know, like one of the things I was thinking too is back in the 90s, how you were saying like a lot of like the criticism now, like this is that splitting image that Don Simpson did, right? That's him drawing all the different image creators, Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, but he's given them all. Jim Lee is Lotus G. Todd McFarlane is God McFarthing. Brat Lifeguard. Jim Valentino is Val J Tasmania, and he's like, a good picture. It's so weird. Like it's just this.
Okay, I found it. I'm sorry. I ended up trying to do another search, and it's there.
Oh, for the Saskas? Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like they could be, you know, if you can accept the Saska sisters doing, is it piss porn or is it just the blood gore porn or something?
I saw the incest stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems odd that they'd be so like defensive of the Saska sisters, and that's fine. But then when it comes to this kid, and I part of it too, I was hanging out with Matt Barr on his stream or whatever, and he's like, his whole thing is he won't like really engage with the girl at all, because they were really they made a whole argument with Matt Barr as well, where they were sound pretty extreme. Like they yeah, anyways, part of it is, well, she introduces herself as Autistic Boobs as her screen name that she uses everywhere, right? That's what she leads with. And he's like, I'm not gonna engage in like arguing back and forth with someone because of that, was Matt Barr's stance, right? And she gets mad that he won't engage in arguing with her, and it's like, it's bizarre. But it feels like they're asking like questions in like a very direct way that like are like relevant. You know what I mean? Like, does he not have the right to like criticize Ayds comics and make funny videos about him? Like,
he definitely does, but I think that
a lot of it's like
I don't know, because you I mean, you put up the best defense when you start off, when we want to have this conversation, and you start off with Eric going, "Pull up, motherfucker, pull up." What can I even say? If I sit here and say the guy showing up in public is because we were talking privately where I told you I have stalkers, and if they showed up at the convention, and I'm in fear for my life from about 5 different guys that are just unhinged, and they're schizophrenic and weird and autistic and the whole 9 yards, and if they and I'm sympathetic to that to a point, but if they were to show up at a convention and threaten me physically, I would have security remove them. I wouldn't be sitting there going, "Pull up, motherfucker, pull up."
That's what I'm saying. The difference
in the first place. That's why I can't really defend Eric, because he's the level of fame that he's going to draw a certain number of psycho stalkers, but he's asking for it if he does that,
like antagonizing them.
Similar situation with are you familiar with the band Twisted? They used to be like ICP's proteges, Insane Clown Posse's proteges.
Okay, I know the name. I don't think I ever listened.
They wear the face paint and all that too. Well, they broke away from ICP about 10-15 years ago, and they have their own warehouse where they do all their shit, where they record their music and they have all their merch and everything that ships out. And there was a dude that was he was a juggalo grifter, where he would sit on the internet and he would make fun of Twisted, and he would call them hypocrites, and he would criticize their music and all these things that are happening in the comic sphere that also happens in the music sphere. And this dude showed up at their warehouse after one of the members got on live stream and was like, yo, I know hard motherfuckers, and if you roll up on my shit, I dare you to roll up on my shit because you won't be walking away, motherfucker. It's like, again, like goading.
That's the part they need to clip.
Yeah, goading these people to show up. And so this dude shows up and starts trying to fucking knock on the door at the fucking warehouse. Their fucking warehouse security opened the door and punched him in the face. Punched him in the face and stole his phone. And he walked around outside going, give me my phone back, player, give me my phone back. I got GPS on there, man. I don't know how to get home. And they finally threw the phone out the door to him. But again, it's like when people were talking about the situation, it's like, well, the member of the band did say, you try pulling up on my shit, motherfucker, and I'll get hard motherfuckers to fuck you up.
That's the whole thing. Is like,
if you goad them to do it, you can't get upset when they do. You can't. So it's indefensible. The fact that this guy shows up and fucks with them it's indefensible because Eric brought it on himself.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's just, and he's sticking with the I didn't know nothing and this and that, and like, which I mean, at this point, that's kind of like what he has to do in order to continue the. What time did Eric know? At what time specifically?
Precisely what hour did Eric know? And I wouldn't make fun of Eric the way I do if he didn't act like that. Like he's literally in his chair going, "Pull up, motherfucker, pull up!" Like he doesn't have to act like that.
That is the problem. He says he's moving differently, and then does this. Like, see, think of how much. If Eric wanted to avoid this whole situation, right? Oh shit! The bouncer guy comes back in. Eric, dude, it's that kid that taped her shit. Eric would go, "Hey, fuck it, bring him in." Riley comes in. Riley, what the fuck? What do you want, dude? You want? I already shaved my shoulders. Like that. That was one of his.
That's usually. I mean, that's a de-escalation tactic for a troll. Is if you do that, then the troll just like, oh, I don't really want to come in. I guess I'll just leave. And that's how you de-escalate.
Yeah, he did the same thing to Ethan. Like, and Ethan just comes out like he did a skit with them. I think I played that one on one of these where like he goes up to like Ethan's warehouse. Ethan opens the door and he's like, $2? What the fuck? You gave the other guy $50. What the? He's like running. He says he's gonna call the cops. I'm gonna go. It's like they did like played along. You did a skit and that was that. You know what I mean? And like that's already evidence out there that Eric knows about, has seen, although he'll claim like ignorance of like, I thought it was real, but that's what I'm saying is if he had like just, he could have handled it in a different way, but instead he did all this where now, Riley is, he's a locked up thug and, they got him under 24/7 restraints. He's I read that
he had a prior warrant. And he wasn't arrested. Yeah, he wasn't arrested for stalking. He was arrested on a prior warrant.
That's what I'm saying. The prior warrant is out of the county or the town where the warehouse is.
Oh, it was also Eric related.
Yeah,
it was the Eric related warrant. I got you. This is a very common. Again, this is a very common thing when you gain this type of popularity, and especially among rappers, they tell each other they're going to pull up. They tell each other they're going to, it's on site, motherfucker, it's on site. And then when on site happens, they're driving as fast as they can away from the fucking scene, trying not to get punched in the face or shot or whatever. And I mean, it's very common. It is a low, what would be the correct
low
term
bar?
To say? Yeah, it's a low bar. Like accusing a rapper of being a hypocrite by saying he wants to fight and then running from a fight. Very common. Very common. This is a very low bar for Eric. This, of all the things to criticize Eric about, criticizing him for not going outside and talking to this guy it's pretty low on the list. I mean, he puts 3D assets in his comic books. I don't know if you know this.
You add it to the 3D assets. You add it to the one fella that he hired was the one that used to work on the Hulk and had the whole business with they were saying he was putting anti-Semitic images in there. And then he was drawing, he's a Brazilian guy, and they were saying he was drawing Brazilian people or something as rats or something, some sort of racist in Brazil
This sounded like a cool comic to me. Which comic is this in?
In the Hulk, in the Immortal Hulk comic.
Oh, wait a minute. I have the Immortal Hulk. I only have the first volume though. Maybe that's in a later volume.
Yeah, it was towards it was like him. I think it's Joe Bennett, I think. Benita, one of, I think it's Joe Bennett or Benitez, one of the two. Him and Al Ewing.
And Eric hired this guy, and now he can go fuck himself because he hates Jews. Is that the?
No, he was fired from the Hulk because of the Jew thing, maybe. And
I'm saying, and then Eric hired him. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Eric hired him, and then also the same with that Gabriel Altabe, who was the colorist on Superman comics. The Superman.
He was also the colorist on Doug TenNapel's Bigfoot Bill too.
Was he? I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah, you want to see it? He did a good job.
Sure. Yeah, I've seen like pictures of his art before. He seems like a competent colorist. You know, it's definitely takes a certain eye, a certain skill.
I just happen to have it out.
Yeah, Gabe LTA, right?
Yeah. Give it a little look.
Put it on. That's another one that they seem to have. Comicsgate has problems with is the Doug TenNapel.
Yeah,
he doesn't like them, and they don't like him, or some of them like him, or who's drawing that?
Doug.
That's Doug TenNapel drawing that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Doug writes the stuff and draws it.
And what is it like? Looks like a Thor book or something almost. Oh, okay.
Well, he's a Bigfoot and he's wearing a kraken on himself, and he is there's a compound that houses all the cryptoids.
Okay.
So this is Poseidon though.
Nice.
It's fighting Poseidon in this book, but there's all these different cryptoids that fucking or cryptids, I guess is what they're called. Cryptids that fucking escape from this facility that houses. It's like a government facility that houses all the cryptids. Like there's the skunk ape right here.
Here, let me put it on. So hold on a second. Oh. Okay, I got you on big. Okay.
There's a good front pick of.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And these are the government guys that are trying to round up. This is the Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
So they're trying to round up all the cryptids and put them back in the and for some reason Poseidon had been captured and was put in with the. So he's a god, obviously, but he was put in with the cryptids at this facility, and he breaks out and he's looking for his finger. They took his finger, and the whole comic is about him trying to. There's Skunk Ape farting out his skunk juice.
Nice. A little cloud. Okay.
And yeah, Doug draws all this, and you know, Doug is the creator of Earthworm Jim. That's his claim to fame.
Earthworm Jim. Yeah.
And then he became a. But anyway, this is a good page. Sorry, you keep taking me off and having to put me back on.
I always feel awkward if I'm on solo. Oh, okay. So
it kind of showcases Gabe's coloring ability.
Nice. That's He's Bigfoot really Bill is what this is.
This came with, I believe, the Earthworm Jim graphic novel. This is a preview of the Bigfoot Bill 2 graphic novel, which I can show you the whole thing.
Okay. Hold on. Well.
So this, basically, I mean, I can tell you, people will tell you 100 different reasons why Comicsgate doesn't get along with Doug TenNapel, but I'm going to tell you why they don't like Doug TenNapel. Because Doug TenNapel releases these gold foiled, hardcover, fucking giant size. This is fucking. This is much bigger than a comic book.
Yeah, that's.
You know how much these things cost?
$10.
When he does crowdfunders, $25.
25. How many pages is that? Looks like
fucking dollars I paid for this giant fucking.
Looks like about 100 pages in it, huh?
Yeah, more than that. It's about
More
100,
than that.
175, 185 pages.
Damn. $25, 175, gold plated freaking hardback. Damn, that's
some nice Gabe El Taib fucking color.
Yeah, I was against this fella up until now. I was
much in the same way. Much in the same way that Ethan detractors say he just got jealous of Eric's success. People say he got jealous of Doug's books because these all came out on time. These were these were finished and released, on time. Look at that back cover. Look at that fucking that motorcycle is made of the Kraken.
Oh, that is legitimate. I gotta hand it to him. That's what I'm saying. Like,
oh, they're beautiful fucking books, but he won't fucking make anymore. He owes us a third Bigfoot Bill volume to close out the storyline, and he hasn't fucking made it.
Well, I mean, I guess that's what you get with these guys sometimes. And he's another one that's on YouTube. I hear with like a big a lot of people watching his show on YouTube, where he's always on politics, and he's like super right wing or super conservative or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, he's an absolute Bible thumping Christian.
Is he one of the ones that was against Trump initially, or was he like?
No, he's a Trump.
Because that would explain it if he was one of those like never Trumpers, and it would be like,
No, in fact, he and Ethan kind of got into it because Ethan wants to love the gays, and Doug's very anti-gay.
Anti-gay, yes. Okay, I do.
He's
remember
cool. He's had me on his YouTube show, and he's been on mine. Doug's a really generous guy with his time. I like him a lot. I consider him a friend.
Right on. Yeah,
I guess I'm biased, but anyway, I just wanted you to see that Gabe El Taib.
That is a legitimate.
He's a legit motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. He's one of the ones with Eric there. He quit.
He's with Eric now. Yeah.
Reportedly, he quit DC because of the gay. He quit.
Well, he did. He did this when he was still working for DC, freelancing, and he would come on and he would do because Doug would be inking pages. And Gabe would be coloring pages that he'd already been sent. And so they would do YouTube shows where Doug's inking the next pages, and Gabe is working on, or maybe he was working on some DC stuff. I don't remember. But Gabe was trying really hard to be right down the middle, right down the center, and non-biased. And when Doug would start going to some like pretty, spicy right-wing stuff, Gabe would say, "Listen, if you're going to talk about this, I'll just jump off the show. Like, no hard feelings, but just let me jump off. Let me know when you're going to go into these topics, and I want to remove myself from the program when you're going to do that." So Gabe used to be real center, like very, very center. And then at some point, I don't know, you said it's the gay, but at some point he jumped into Comicsgate. And
it was back in like 2020 or whatever, when it was like when they had Superman's son came out, he was gay or bi or whatever. Remember, it was like a whole thing in the comics. Like it was whatever, like a 12
Were they trying to get him to work on it, or did he just not want to support DC? Was he the colorist involved in it, or did he?
Yeah, he was the colorist involved. Really? And I'm not sure if it's like, I don't follow all of it. I just remember like seeing that and just being like, okay, well, I mean, that's how you feel. That's how you I'm not going to fault someone for being like, I can't, I'm a Christian that's against gay, so I can't color this.
Did he cite religion as the reason that he didn't want to draw a gay Superman son?
Yeah,
okay.
I believe that's.
I didn't. I watched. I kind of saw it happening, but I stopped following Comicsgate closely a long time ago, so I didn't. I didn't see any of it, like the minutia of it. I knew that he left DC for Comicsgate, but I didn't know. It's kind of like the Dale Keown Pitt stuff. I didn't ever see him join Comicsgate or how any of that worked. I did see that he was going to launch the Pitt Omnibus, which I was going to back immediately and then pull it like right before it launched, and it still hasn't been relaunched, has it?
No,
to this
no,
day,
it is not. Still
that's
has not
that's a
been.
bummer. I actually have a pretty sizable Pitt collection, like first 15 or 20 issues. I don't know if it went 20.
I think it went up to like 20 or 21 maybe. But yeah, it's.
Yeah, I probably have like the first 13 or 15.
Yeah, I only got like the
I'm a
first
big fan of
8 or 9 or something.
I love the Pitt. People give it shit or whatever as being like low quality image, but I think it's a fantastic book.
Wow.
I actually got a Pitt one shot at a quarter bin sale last month, and it's just a one shot little thing that didn't have anything to do with the main storyline. It was awesome.
You know, I always remember like I was in college, right? And I had my girlfriend, I was working, and I remember that like I worked at a restaurant and there was a girl at the restaurant who was also, was a cook. She was a cook. And I remember like one day I saw like she had a tattoo on her arm. I was like, that looked like Pitt. And I was like, what is your tattoo of? And she's like, she pulled up her sleeve. This is back in like 2000. And it was a tattoo of Pitt. Like it was like the first, like that image of him like coming around the corner or something. Like
you should have fucking married that girl. A chick with a Pitt tattoo? That's
what I'm saying. I just remember being like so.
Was she hot or was she?
Yeah, she was a cute like little attorney girl. Like back 2000s. But I was like faithful. I was just like, oh wow. I don't want to like try and get to know her very good because that would definitely be like a temptation to leave.
Yeah, that's a unicorn. That's a unicorn right there. Because there's nothing there's nothing wrong with chicks that are into comics, but that's like a violent monster comic that's like super. Because I bonded with a girl real closely. I think I told you this. I may have told you this story privately about driving to Ohio and dropping off the Zero to that girl,
and she was just like.
She cucked me out immediately, and I drove home in shame. But that chick was into the Max, but the Max is about Julie, the fucking it has a feminine it actually has a feminist element to it. And so her being like a brainy college girl, alternate girl at the time, and she found the Max and found, Julie's a social worker and calls herself a feminist and all that. And she connected to the Julie side of it. I connected to like the monster, Max side of it, and all the different beasties that he fought. Not necessarily Mr. Gone because he's a fucking rapist, but
well, maybe that was just me. I don't know. I never looked at him like that.
But Pitt, what I'm saying is Pitt doesn't really have any feminine element to it at all. So a chick being into like a hardcore violent monster comic is pretty cool.
Or what? Wasn't there like? Isn't it like there's a girl in it who's like a like a government agent or something?
Probably.
It seems like there's. I don't think they focused on that very much, but it seems like the first issue or two there was something where there was like maybe like a Canadian secret agent or something.
I'd have to go back and reread them. I haven't, other than that one shot I got last month, I haven't read them in a long time. I just remember it being about Pitt and the boy.
Yeah, Pitt, the kid, and like
fighting aliens.
Whatever, like the space aliens that were coming back to get him or whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was. Imagine that. Like that's it's just the oddest. I always think about that. I have no idea who she was or anything at this point, But
yeah,
it was
that's
like
fucking cool. You wouldn't find anything like that today.
No.
Girls
what would even be a comparable comic that's out today? Even like
what would be a comparable comic to Pitt?
That's out today, like that's like just coming out. Like what would there?
Boy,
even be?
I don't follow mainstream comics very, very much. Nothing really in the indie side. Cyberfrog, I guess.
Right, but that's just indie. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, what would even be like a comparable, like that giant monster? Like,
well, I'm saying like you got Cyberfrog is the monster, and he's got the chick that he hangs out with. So.
Okay.
So a girl would be able to get into it. It has giant monster killer stuff, but it also has the feminine element to it.
The girl's kid is in there too.
Right.
He's all that stuff. The guy, their dad's missing, presumably dead by the murder wasps or whatever. Right.
I never collected any of those. I never collected any of those 90s Cyberfrogs. I don't have any of them.
No,
so I don't know And I haven't bought any of the. I don't buy Ethan stuff because he doesn't ever fucking. I'm just giving him money to sit on for years before he finally fulfills. So I don't give him any money.
Both thing I backed the Cyberfrog 2 book, and I got it. I think it was like 6 months later because it was like they hadn't closed it down, but then it was like once they closed it, like it showed up. I was like, oh, okay, there it is. And the hat, I bought my hat from
Is that a
his eBay
Cyberfrog
store.
hat?
It's the Comicsgate hat. So
okay,
one of them.
Right on.
I bought that from the eBay, and it was like I had it within a week or whatever, however fast shipping goes. For just a lot of it, he's got like you.
Well,
can
you have
get,
to
like,
you have
old
to keep in mind
collections.
when I first ran into Ethan in Comicsgate, he hadn't finished Cyberfrog 1 yet, so he didn't have anything to sell
Right.
anybody. And then he got super duper late on it. Then launched a couple other things and the second one. So he might be more. Well, no, he's not on. He's not on time with it. He's still late on all that shit. The current shit's all late.
Yeah, I think. Well, honestly, I have no idea. I know the Rainbow the Brute one, but I didn't back that one. Like, I'm not into the fairy.
Yeah, that one's
Rainbow
years.
guy.
I remember that being promoted. Yeah, that was promoted in like 2018, 2019.
Really? Because he's been like
he hadn't
doing more
launched it
ads.
yet, but he had a cover done for it. He hadn't launched it yet.
Oh,
There's
well,
a
I mean,
bunch
if
of
you
that
haven't
first-
launched it, that's fine. But
Yeah, I'm just saying he was promoting it as far back as 2018. There was a lot of that first wave Comicsgate stuff that was super late or never fulfilled. Do you remember? Are you aware of a cat named Slick Jimmy?
I've heard them talking about him on different streams that he was someone that like got arrested or got a bunch of
Yeah,
money
he had
and just scooted on out.
He had a book that he was promoting that I backed, and then he went super late. He just disappeared, ended up being super late on it, and I sent him a couple of messages through Indiegogo trying to get a refund on it, and never heard anything back from him. And then fucking one day it was like Slick Jimmy arrested for being a pedophile and thrown in prison, and to this day he's in prison.
Yeah, that's got
Then
one of the ones just got to write off.
There was Shinobi Sasquatch. I don't think that one's ever fulfilled. I didn't back it. What's his name? The fucking fat guy, Donald DeLay. He had a book called Brutus the Beefcake. Was that the name? No, Brutus the Badass. And he was super fucking late on that, and then got into a fight with the artist. Said he wasn't going to pay him, or he's the artist. He's the artist and creator, and he hired a writer. And he got into a fight with the writer and said he wasn't going to pay him royalties. Ethan had to get involved. And now they're cool, I guess, and they've made a second one since then. The second Brutus the Badass. Since then, but after the lateness and the fighting with the writer and all that, having to get Ethan involved, I haven't backed anything that guy's done since either.
Well, and he's the one I always see him posting stuff. I unfollowed him a while ago because it was just he would post pictures of like his meals, like steak and stuff, and it was always like he'd be bragging about eating well done steak. Just horrible steak with ketchup.
He just has he's just one of those guys, and I'm probably guilty of being a guy like this too. He just has a bad internet personality. He's very antagonistic and contrarian, and I have kind of an antagonistic and contrarian personality too. So I don't really work very well with the internet. I'm not a personality people necessarily like to watch. My takes are always antagonistic and contrarian. I mean, I'm sitting here making a list of all the Comicsgate people I don't follow and don't like right now. So I mean, that's if your audience is Comicsgate supporters, they're saying fuck this guy.
Checking down the list
in real time, canceling me in real time. My pixels are just being deleted. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. Actually, I will dog on Doug a little bit. Doug's buddy, Jerkmonger is his handle, but I can't remember what his actual name is. And Doug wrote, and this guy Jerkmonger was supposed to draw this book that is still not done. I'll look it up if you want to. If you're interested in it.
If you want, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if we should cover. I was just going to show. This is like old news. Like the cover I did for my for today's stream was this old comic from with the pigs, right? I put on Gary Neurotic's face and Miss Piggy's face, but
so this book is called. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say this is where I got that from. I found it funny because I wonder what they would do with this today, right? It was this. He did like that. He redrew this image of Netanyahu and everyone because they had just passed this bill that gave them like special rights and like other people not special rights. Like it was a very contentious bill.
You drew it?
No, this fella down here, Avi Katz.
Okay.
And that was what I used for the thumbnail today. But I put in, instead of Netanyahu and the photographer, I put in Miss Piggy and Gary Nerdrotic. Because they were at, of course, the thing with Riley. They're all supporters of Eric July and presumably the Blaze. Alex Stein was there, So that's what I'm saying. It's odd because this fellow was the cartoonist at the Jerusalem Report. I don't want to like read through this interview or whatever, but I just thought it was interesting because this was 2018. Sorry.
Is the last name of the journalist is really Zion? Scroll down a little bit.
Eon Ben Zion. Yeah.
It's a little on the nose.
Yeah. See, that's the thing too, is like everyone is terrified of all of this shit. That was I was telling you with Vancouver Comics and Arts Fest. That was they banned the lady because she had been served in the Israeli military, and then they unbanned her.
Right.
So I'm not really sure if that's like how to take that, because it's all the people that are normally against Israel, right? Because Israel's generally like a pro-Republican platform or category or whatever, right? And so it's like all those people that are normally against that are like, they were the ones that were all and they're the ones that are all on the like not Twitter sites, right? Like all the people that are like, I'm leaving Twitter.
Right.
I'm going over to this site because this is where there's no Nazis. Not like you guys on Twitter. Elon Musk. He's all that crowd. It's all of them. And like none of the people on the right or like anyone else like covered this. They and it was on, it was on like Bleeding Fool and like Comicsgate and all the different things. But like none of the like the YouTube people, none of them covered it. It was weird. Yeah. It was very I looked up too to see with the original cartoon thing from in 2018. Is this it? I looked to see if they covered it on the Comics Journal back in 2018. And they did, but it was just this one clip. Meanwhile, elsewhere, news. The Jerusalem Post has fired its longtime cartoonist Ari Katz after he drew an animal form referencing cartoon of Netanyahu depicted as a pig. The publication of the cartoon on Tuesday in the Jerusalem Report, a bi-weekly magazine published by the Jerusalem Post, was met with praise by some and anger by other social media users, with many objecting to his portrayal of the wicked politician as pigs, which are perceived as among the most ritually impure animals in Judaism. Following
Well,
the
that's true. Is that what Likud, is that their political party? Is that what that is? I don't know what that word is.
I believe that is the name of their political party, like Republican or Democrat or Green. Yes.
Right.
Following the uproar, Jerusalem Post announced it would no longer work with Katz. Avi Katz is a cartoonist who worked as a freelancer at the Jerusalem Post, and in accordance with editorial considerations, it was decided not to continue the relationship with him. It said in a Hebrew language statement. It's so odd. In a Hebrew language
and then cut to fucking Jim Jeffries on Comedy Central. So clearly the Jerusalem Post is a pro-Israel newspaper, right?
Right.
And
I would in Jerusalem.
So did the cartoon appear in the Jerusalem Post or on his social media? Did they publish the cartoon and then fire him?
Cartoon on Tuesday in the Jerusalem Report. Yeah, publication.
So they published. They were just fine publishing it until the government said, "Hey man, what the fuck is this shit? Drawing us like pigs? Fuck you!" And so they were like, "Oh, my bad," and fired their cartoonist.
Yeah,
that's about on par. That seems like on par with American politics.
Doing? We're not pigs, man. It's rude. Why are you calling us pigs, dude? Come on. Like, and it's like that's what I'm saying is like, from what I could follow of the actual thing that it was about, like them celebrating like the passage of a bill. Okay, this is it. Israeli cartoonist. This is from The Guardian. PM and allies drawn as pigs in a magazine after passing a law giving exclusive rights to Jews. So that was the point of it, is that like.
But it's what's weird though is it's a Jewish publication, and I'm guessing the cartoonist is Jewish also, isn't he?
I would think so.
And it's a Jewish publication publishing a Jewish artist's
criticism of their politics,
criticizing the government, giving themselves special privileges. Like, why would if my tribe is giving me special privilege, why am I complaining about it? Like, I guess what I'm saying is I don't understand the artist's motivation to do it in the first place.
Oh, like he's like a different party, or you know what I'm saying? Like maybe he's I mean, Katz. That's what like Katz is like a not to get racist or whatever, but Katz is like a traditionally Jewish name, isn't it? Like, I believe.
That's what I'm confused over the
like his stance. Like he's from a yeah, I would just think he's anti anti whatever.
That party that Netanyahu belongs to.
Right, he could be one of the Israeli people that are for the Palestine or whatever. Right, that could be a whole. I assume there's different people. I would think there has to be.
I guess. I mean, I've seen Alex Jones go on rants saying that Israel's like a pretty diverse place, and there are lots of different political views, but you only ever hear the like state like propaganda version of. It could be the same thing as America. Like Joe Biden speaks for pretty much Joe Biden, and that's it. He doesn't really speak for anybody else. So I guess I understand that.
Let's see. This is supposed to be a link to the. Oh, it is. So it's still on there. From the sketchbook, all animals are equal, but some are more than others. So this is the website. This is the Post Jerusalem. I mean, it is. That's what I'm saying. It's definitely like. It seems odd because it's like that's what you want like a political cartoon to do, is to like get people talking and rile them up and stuff. And they published it. Right. And then it's like once people are discussing, like, oh, we didn't mean like that. We didn't. No.
I'm trying to look at it through the lens of like every journalist rag in America is partisan. You would never have a New York Times article that was that would heavily criticize the Biden administration. So that's why I'm trying to understand the allegiances, was the word I was looking for, like the allegiances of these different factions.
Like, how did this sneak through?
Politicians, the magazine or the publication and then the artist. Like the allegiances seem really weird. It's like if this is a pro, if the Jerusalem Post is a pro Netanyahu magazine, why are they publishing an anti Netanyahu cartoon in it? And why is that guy? Because ostensibly it's about all Jews, right? Like, let's give special privileges to this entire race of people.
That's what I understood. I mean, some sort of like traditional, there's multiple different ethnicities and stuff in Jerusalem, in Israel itself.
Is there an accompanying article that's criticizing Netanyahu in this legislation?
You can listen to the article,
but it's only 4 seconds.
Let's see.
From the sketchbook, all animals are equal, but some more than others. Just a quick word from our sponsor.
Quick word from our sponsor. See, I don't think it goes on to.
No,
there's nothing else. It's
just a cartoon.
Yeah, so then it's just looking to see. Yeah, because it's saying from the sketchbook, so it must be. It looks like you can't even like search his name, or like you can't like click on his. You know what I mean? How you can click on things in here?
Yeah.
And usually you can click on the writer or artist or whatever to see what else they have.
Well, go to his Twitter and see if he just rages against fucking Jews all day. Maybe he's a self-hating Jew. I don't know.
Let's see.
I'm just trying to get the allegiances down to understand what I'm looking at.
Well, like maybe you're saying it's like that just shares it. What is he? Does he have a Twitter thing? Oh, well, that's what. If I go back to this one, I know I'm jumping around a lot here. That's what. This is them talking to him. Usually, Jerusalem Post had complete editorial independence, but in this case, the bosses from the Jerusalem Post apparently were in touch with the editor of the report. Oh, the thing he was at was a magazine published by the newspaper.
That's what it's
looking.
Stop
using my they said to stop using my work in the future.
Yeah, the Jerusalem Report is a magazine owned by the Jerusalem Post. Here we go. There's more.
Hazan's uplifted shirt partially exposes his best stomach. Oh, that's just a literal description of it for okay. This is just describing it. Kat said he saw Fitusi's photograph, which was published by the Associated Press, and it just looked like pigs to me. Said he very quickly, half tracing, just redid the drawing slightly with pigs' faces. It seemed to me so obvious. It was almost as if I was explaining someone else's joke.
Yikes. It seemed to me the joke was already there in the article.
Yeah, see, I wonder if it's kind of like this Jerusalem Post is sort of like their version of like whatever our liberal magazines would be, right? And like
must be like
the Likud Party, the Likud Party would be their Republicans. Well, because if that's what they say with Netanyahu, is that he's buddies with Trump, and so that's what some people have suggested with the whole thing now, is that Netanyahu's doing it, making everything look bad to get at Joe Biden and make Donald Trump.
See down there at the bottom, some Israelis on social media called the caricature's use of pig heads anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
but if you criticize someone on the right, you're an anti-Semite. But he's also Jewish. They call each other anti-Semites when they disagree.
Oh, okay. He's saying if you criticize someone on the left, you're not considered anti-Semitism. It's just politics. But if you criticize someone on the right, you're an anti-Semite. Oh, and the new legislation defines Israel as the national homeland of the Jewish people, prioritizes Jewish settlements of the land, and downgrades the Arabic language from an official to a special. You're not an official language. You're a special language. That's all. Critics of the law say it marginalizes the country's Palestinian Arab minority, which constitutes 20% of Israel's population, while its proponents say it merely enshrines the existing reality.
So there are some Jews in Israel that want to import Palestinian Muslims, and this guy, and that's like the liberals, the quote unquote liberal Jews, and this guy's one of them, and that's why he was criticizing the political right for basically creating an
anti-Palestinian. Yeah.
And this dude's protesting that with this cartoon. That makes more sense.
Yeah. He's saying that they're pigs. Okay, I like it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I never looked at it that he was like this guy was like not like a Jewish, you know what I mean, that he was just making fun of like all Jews. Like I knew it was like definitely like already in the Jerusalem Post. So it's not like they're in there like publishing Ethan, you know. I don't think Ethan's anti-Semitic, but you know. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I knew there had to be like a lot to it that was just fun to look into. Like that's what I'm saying. I love going through this stuff, and that was the whole with Vancouver or whatever. You want me to pull up, keep it kind of like more relevant to this? This is the after they sent this, it was when they made the apology for the Vancouver stuff, right? This was like I was saying on they have stuff on Blue Sky rather than, you know, they've all left Twitter,
right?
Or that whatever the new one is, Kara. You want to be an artist?
Artists, yeah. Kara's the art, but it's not. They're not leaving because they're leaving. They're protesting Instagram. They want to leave Instagram. The artists do, because Instagram wants to scrape their art for its AI. So they bailed for Kara because Kara promises not only not to allow posts of AI art, but to prevent scraping from their site.
Okay, so this is, but you know, I mean, it's like a similar. They'll protest something with going to a different site, and
yeah.
No one else really does. I mean, it might.
I guess I'm saying I see more legitimacy to Kara than I do Blue Sky. Blue Sky is a tantrum thrown because Elon Musk bought Twitter, so a bunch of the Twitter devs made this.
Make no mistake, I'm absolutely against the genocide occurring in Palestine, but that doesn't mean we should support or endorse anti-Semitism against Jewish people. So then there's this whole letter about that they sent this. Like I said, this is before Vancouver people did their apology, and it's, you know, the whole DEI complaining, and then add on to the list or whatever if you want to be add your name, and then where's? I probably just have to look up the Vancouver. I think it's just right on there. Yeah, this is just vancaf.org. Yeah, of course, they have the land acknowledgement. Acknowledge that the land.
I watched a kayfabe video one time, and it was Jimmy and Ed at one of these shows, and they were like, it was like their panel. They were being introduced by some other, you know, cartoonist, SJW, fucking wokey, blue-haired lesbian feminist, and they did the whole fucking land acknowledgement.
Was originally inhabited and settled.
Yeah, they said, "Thank you for joining us at blah blah blah, and in blah 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 city, and we're here to acknowledge the indigenous people who blah 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 blah." I was like secondhand embarrassed for Jim and Ed for actually sitting through that, because I was like, are they gonna, like, when they get introduced, they're gonna be like, yeah, we didn't ask for that. Whatever that was. Not connected to us. They didn't say anything. They just went right into it.
Right.
Like, you guys just cut out to the fucking one of the weirdest left, because there's several things that leftists have to do.
Right.
They have to have a sign language interpreter. They have to do the fucking cut land acknowledgments to Native Americans. They've got these rituals that they do, these modern leftist rituals that are just so bizarre for their live events and what they, the steps, the rituals they have to present before they can talk about anything.
It's so bizarre too with the land thing. Like what does that mean with Israel? Because they're all for Palestine. And I mean, this isn't to like downplay like whatever the actual reality is now with, bombs and refugee camp, what I'm saying? Like, not to downplay that, but like, shouldn't they be for like the Israeli side saying that this was our land 3,000 years ago or 2,000? You know what I mean? Like, isn't that what, like, shouldn't they be like, well, this was originally the Israeli land, so the Palestinians can only be acknowledged once they acknowledge the Israel. You know what I mean? Like, it's
I think
the way
I think the Pandora's box was open once they actually physically moved the Palestinians there. Now it's we're a minority and we're being oppressed thing. Like once they physically got there, like, but I mean, you could say the same thing with, I don't know. None of it makes any sense to me. These geopolitical issues you raise, Dr. Ben, there aren't easy answers for them, or we'd have world peace.
They're not. Right. Yeah, no. I mean, I was hoping that you could figure this out today as kind of,
Something you could solve fucking, I ain't the guy.
Why won't you just tell me the answer?
I'm looking up Soska sisters incest porn when we get off this fucking stream. I'm not interested in
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It makes the Soska sisters and Riley and all them pissing on each other. That's like a breath of fresh air. And that's why I sometimes kind of think like maybe that is kind of like the point of Eric and like all these, like all these different people obsessing, not just with comics, but like, people obsess about sports or about politics, but it's just this like narrow frame of like just this spot is to avoid all the just evil realities, like it's like the good doctor Hunter Thompson said, to avoid these glaring meat hook realities of, we're just going to solve everything by, we're going to have a land acknowledgement and, I'm going to ask Kevin Strange, I'm going to ask him his pronouns before I introduce, like once you start like, that's what's going to solve everything.
My pronouns are Soskas / pissing.
I guess, how would I answer? Okay, so that would be like, okay, so now I'll introduce Sosa's pissing on Kevin Strange. Like that might be the way to. But you know what I mean? Like once you do that, like, okay, I've done the thing that's going to make things better, rather than.
I'm not into pee, but I'd probably let those two pee on me.
We know Riley would.
General rule, not into it, but I like those girls.
It would probably, I don't know. I would have to go with I will abstain. I'm gonna thank you for the thought though for them. If that was the situation, you know what I mean. I would feel too much. But at the same point, like I don't think that should prohibit you in any way from being, if that's, like I don't want people to be upset with Kevin Strange.
That's the official Dr. Ben endorsement of the Soska sisters pissing on Kevin Strange.
I think that's definitely fine. Like take the piss that they would have had for me for their time with Strange.
Double the piss.
Double it. Double the piss.
Whatever piss you're going to use on me. Go ahead and put it on Kevin Strange.
Pass it on. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's apparently that's what's accepted. That's what they do with the at the Ripperverse. That's what they're looking for. So I mean, that might be why I'm not really. He's never blocked me, and he's never really like responded. I've asked him questions and stuff before. I don't ask a lot because
Ask him if the Soskas have ever pissed on him before.
well, that has that there's been even speculation about that. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I like I'm just kind of like forcing all these things together to just you know, if the comic community is going to stand up for you know, the Israeli cartoonist, irregardless of her you know, her feelings on Sasuke's sisters and pissing, you know, they need to be able to stand up for.
She probably isn't hip to the fucking deep cut lore of the Rippaverse to know about Soska piss videos. Let's run through this though. Let's go through all this and give this subject its due diligence. But then I gotta jump off here and try to get some dinner in me.
For sure,
I'm starving.
Yeah,
I just ate an ice cream sandwich to hold myself over for to give the Jew lady her time on her time to shine.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I got the book, not the one that she had, but I got the one I was telling you, the one Toward a Hot Jew is the name of it, which is published by Fantagraphics. So you're like, kudos for them publishing Sako and this lady, you know, publishing both sides of the
both sides. No problem.
Good shot for them, you know. But so this was, like I said, this is the Vancouver Comics Arts Festival's formal apology. They wish us to express deep.
You haven't even introduced what the issue or subject is. You just jumped right to the apology. Set it up. Set us up. What are we talking about?
Okay, so
because you haven't talked about this subject on the show yet, have you?
No, well, I think I talked about it the other day. The initial complaint or initial problem they had.
So this
is yes, but you know, the basic. Let me pull that up. Yes. Okay, so. Oh, and this has been updated too. So, but this has more of the exact. This is the Canadian Jewish news. This is about them apologizing to Miriam for banning her due to her past service in the IDF. There she is. This person drawing.
It's a Jewess if I've ever seen one. Would you let her piss on you, Dr.Ben?
Well,
what a horrible way to start this.
Set us up. Tell us about this lady. Would you let her pee on you? Not without a written release form. That's I don't think that would be a let. You know, there'd have to be a contractual. There'd have to be some sort of protections for myself in place for anything below the waist. So this was they first had. Yeah, this is them going over that, but they had updated it. This was where it has originally published on May 29th. Vancouver Comics Arts Festival has permanently banned Miriam Lebicki from appearing in the event because of this is the reporting from this site, right? In the words of the festival directors, this exhibitor's prior role in the Israeli military and their
just straight up, we're banning you because you were in the military.
And she made comics recounting her personal position in the said military and the illegal occupation of Palestine. Apparently, this is the one I haven't read.
So
this
it would
one,
be
but
it would be like your boy Zach publishes comics that take place during the Afghan occupation.
Yes,
and being banned from a fucking comic convention because he was in the military and did comics about his time in the military in Afghanistan, as though he was personally responsible for the fucking U.S. military's invasion of Afghanistan. Like, this bitch has nothing to do. Isn't it actually mandatory?
She was one of the leading generals during her time, is what I understood. She was the one.
But isn't it still mandatory service? Hasn't every Israeli Jew been in the military?
there is something about that, but it's like she
volunteered for it.
She volunteered. Yeah,
excited to be busting them Palestinian heads.
What that I actually have footage. The president even addressed her, our president. Hold on.
I never really thought that I would see and have confirmed pictures of terrorists beheading children. I never thought
that was her before he realized that she was Israeli and not a terrorist. That was literally her doing all this. So that was.
Are you serious?
No, she was like a
you were saying she was like a top general or whatever. Like that might have been. That could have been. Like you got me with that.
You realize we can start any kind of rumor we want here, or at least I could, in theory. That's what I'm saying. I think I can do that was what Hunter did. He was telling people that.
I mean, listen, you set me up for that, but she literally got banned from a comic convention. So for all I knew, that she was chopping off fucking baby Muslim heads.
Yeah, that is literally.
And that's what her comics are about. Fuck these
celebrating.
Yeah.
She's a splatterpunk legend.
Yeah.
Again,
though, a lot of guys that have made anti-war art went and did violent things to people in other countries in the name of the U.S. military. So I don't see the big deal.
No,
I think that they made a big mistake in trying to do this.
Exactly. That is what basically they were all pointing out, that they had done this, and it's like, what? You just banned this lady? And her work is not is not a violent celebration, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's just the stuff about her personal experience, talking about it, and it's an autobiography comic from this lady, right? And this is the one I got. Towards a Hot Jew, published by Fantagraphics in 2016. Think about this. They don't raise problems about this, but like that Frank Miller book. They're very upset about that one, the Holy Terror or whatever. And it's like it's the same thing. It's like picking and choosing what you're gonna. I thought this one was pretty funny. The Jewish memoir goes pops oi.
Is that her art?
Yes, this is one of her other things, pointing out how autobiographical graphic novels and why they're so Jewy. It's got Mouse. You of course read Mouse.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Diary of a I haven't read that one. I can't remember these other Blankets. The Heart of the Storm, American Splendor, and the R. Crumb Handbook. I think she's suggesting that all of these.
Harvey Picar's not Jewish.
I think so. I think he is.
Was he Jewish? Or is it his wife? Didn't he marry a Jewess?
That's up. I guess that would. We'll leave that as a. I'm gonna have to dig deeper to discover. She was in it.
I'll do that. I'll do that work. You keep going. I'll do this work.
But yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Like it's their autobio comics about this lady. She was named the writer in residence by the Vancouver Public Library in 2017. She lives in Vancouver too, right? She's up in Vancouver.
Yeah. So the Picars were Polish Jews.
Polish Jews. Okay.
The Picar threw me off. The Picar part being a Polish name threw me off.
I see. So I would imagine, probably his widow, Joyce, is most likely celebrating. Yes. Destroy the Palestinians. She's a well-known war advocate herself, I believe. She's
very pro-Israel, yeah.
It's what I've got. I didn't set it up or did I? Is this? I can't remember if I set it up or I did. Sort of. Hold on. Okay. I've got a comic called Real War Stories where she is one of the writers, along with Alan Moore, several other people, Steve Bissett, Bill Sienkiewicz. Bill Sienkiewicz did the cover. Well, anyways,
Alan Moore
I don't...
do time in the military, or
he did
just
time
get him
for.
Did they just get him because everybody got him at the time?
Yeah, he was just whatever he is. Well, this is from like 86 or 87 or something. So whatever he was back then, this is published in 87. So just a general malcontent, I guess. But yeah, so this is, they brought all this attention to it. The lady, she's from Vancouver. She's an artist. She's not like a monster. Just trying to have discussions, trying to tell her perspective. And they're like, that's what I'm saying. Is it's like the immediate thing that they turn to is banning someone, shun them, get them out of here. And then in their, let me pull it up here. In their first apology where they banned her. Well, that's the apology for the apology. In the first apology, they never named her, right? And then in the second one, when they apologized for that, I think they still don't ever name her. They're just like, we want to apologize for the impact our previous statement has caused. First to the individual directly infected, and then the other people that were upset about the I don't think I could. Well, maybe. You want me to try and read their apology? What do Vancouver people sound like? I kind of would it be like that weird French accent I do? That's the only thing I can. I think they're on the opposite side of Canada, from what Quebec is on the east coast.
Yeah, they're not the
Vancouver's on the west. But that's what I think of them as sounding like.
They don't sound like the Midwestern Canadians. Oi. VanCaf wishes to express deep and sincere apologies, for the impact our previous statement has caused. First and foremost, to the individuals directly affected by our first post. I don't think that's what they sound like. I think Vancouver, I'm not sure what they sound like. I've been to Vancouver and I don't remember what they sound like.
See, it almost, okay. Going with that, the second verse there. The decision was ultimately wrong-headed and moved too quickly without adequate consultation. We also wish to apologize to the wider impacted community. VanCaf has lost and continues to lose the trust of many we have sought to serve. It definitely sounds like someone writing that has an accent. That makes sense. This is how they think and how they put things onto the paper in this weird.
We've lost and continue to lose the trust. They are continuing. They're in real time continuing to lose trust. The trust is just spilling out of them
every time. We're gonna have another party. No, we're not. Just everything they suggest, people are just shoot. That I guess that's what I'm doing. So I mean that's what I'm saying too. Is none of them. I don't want to turn this into hunting who said what and everything, but one of the other people I saw talking about this brought up well, I wonder, how going after this lady, is it going to be any different ever since the Piscor stuff? And I was just their concern is just this whole public image thing. You know what I mean? Think about this lady too. She served in the army, whatever, 20 years ago, writes comics, has been doing comics, and now all of a sudden, all that.
And she's been praised for her Jewish takes for decades.
Right.
And then suddenly, the rug's pulled out from under. Look how speaking about the rug being pulled out, look how they pulled the rug out from under their own board. Our statement was one that only represented the VanCaf board at the time of writing, as though they're going to fire their board and replace it with better people.
none of these things have any names listed either. So like
No.
they're bored. Who is it?
Vague,
Who knows?
Completely vague. Yeah, this
We,
amorphous board that's clearly going to change. We're gonna get to the bottom of these anti-Semitic. Well, no, this is. Hang on, is this the apology for the apology, or is this the initial?
This is the apology for the apology.
So this is pro-Jew. So this is like, we're gonna get them. We're gonna get them anti-Semites out of this board. See, we're hemorrhaging trust. We got to rebuild the trust.
We're going to have an allegiance to Israel statement passed around. Everyone must sign it or be expelled as another anti-Semite.
Or be executed. Or be executed on the spot.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to get this kind of energy with this Riley thing. You know, like, we need to get, you know, you cannot criticize Eric July, or else, you know, you're gonna be whatever they want to call it. You know what I mean? It's the same attitudes, you know, of just the shunning, the disgusting, disgusting people, and then actually we didn't really mean that.
One guy is a troll that doesn't really add anything to the art community. The other is a pro-war Jew that just happens to be existing and alive during a time when the left is fully throwing their support behind Palestine. She didn't do anything to bring this on herself, is what I'm saying. She didn't play an act. She's just literally trying to sit and sell Jew books. And this and Riley, on the other hand, is trolling and trying to get a reaction out of Eric July. Riley's taking an active role towards trying to get under the skin of a comic creator. She didn't show up with like anti-Palestine books, like, so everybody here that's into Palestine, fuck you. Here's my fuck Palestine book. Like, she didn't show up trolling anybody. She
walks
just
in there
existed.
open character. Like,
so here we go. For background, the decision to ban the individual in our previous statement stemmed from two separate incidents so maybe she did. Let's see what she did. On the VanCaf floor that took place during our 22 and 24 festivals. Neither incident was it. Do you want to be reading this? Am I stepping on you?
No, you're fine. I don't,
Okay.
I'm not.
Neither incident was instigated by the individual referenced in our previous post. They won't name her. That's so infuriating to read this kind of fucking like corpo fucking HR bullshit.
Accountability statement.
Activists protesting the individual's presence at the festival in a manner that caused concern for the safety of our volunteers, staff, and exhibitors. To be absolutely clear, the individual in our previous statement was in no way a threat to VanCaf's safety, and we apologize if our previous statement in any way implied that she was such a threat or contributed to an unsafe atmosphere. So there were two Rileys there protesting her.
Right.
Both involved activists protesting the individual's presence. So some pro-Palestinian Riley trolls showed up and actually got her fucking kicked out of the show for sitting there being like, would you like my Jew books?
So you support genocide, huh? You support genocide of Palestinians, huh? Oh, okay.
I'm just a somewhat attractive Jewess selling pro-war Israeli Defense Force propaganda.
All proceeds go directly to buying more.
Go to beheading Muslim children.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they were.
However,
and that's I don't think that they should be kicked out either. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep them like at a distance. But
then we're gonna have total chaos. Like, do you not want any law and order at these live events? I mean, you can maybe have a because these fucking this F-word generation is so cucked. They want to protest everything. So these organizations should create an official protest area, like open up a room where they can pass out their protest material and do their thing, so that event goers can go in there and be informed about all the shit that's fucked up in the world and at the show and with the people involved, or they can go and buy comic books, which is ostensibly what this show is about, right? Trying to fucking set up a place for people to sell comic books.
In theory.
Yeah, maybe you give the protesters a little area over there. Yeah, so we have this Jewess that draws comics, and there's people over there that don't like her. You can go talk to them if you want. I guess. Do we really have to do that with every fucking thing?
Yeah.
Can't we just buy fucking comics?
No. They're political. They've always been political.
They've always been
always
political,
been
Dr. Ben. They've always been political.
This is always what it's been.
God, it's true. It has.
And this is the thing.
These miserable motherfuckers.
This is the part that kind of got me with it too. Was like reading through it.
You do it this time.
Okay, well, I'll start with the second part. Well, I'll just read the whole thing. However, the safety of all those involved in VanCaft is our first and foremost concern. These incidents created a volatile atmosphere and called into question whether or not we were truly taking the right steps to create a community-oriented festival. The safety of our festival volunteers, exhibitors, staff, and attending public, and our general community is our top priority. This was what weighed most heavily upon our initial decision, and we wrongly handled and conveyed this concern so their initial decision to ban her permanently was wrongly handled and conveyed. Their concern was, okay. So after the incident in 2022, so this was the trolls back in 2022.
Right.
Riley and company, right? We'll just
right.
Was decided through discussions with the artist that this year they would focus on promoting their most recent book, But I Live, a collection of firsthand survivor stories from the Holocaust.
Now we're not even using personal pronouns. Now we're using fucking they them as the fucking. We aren't even their most recent book. It's one woman.
Right. I don't think she's. I'm not sure. I don't think she has. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Read the whole paragraph. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So they wanted to promote their most recent book, But I Live, a collection of firsthand survivor stories from the Holocaust, and leave the earlier books at home. We agreed and still agree that showing this work is important in sharing the firsthand experience and celebrating the cultural resilience. Oh, so they're saying that they agree.
They agreed to let her sell a Holocaust book. But
right.
The protesters still showed up. Imagine this. You've got a Jewish woman selling Holocaust comics, and some fucking pro-Palestine protesters show up and go, fuck her, she was in the IDF. And they go, you're right, get her out of here. Get her and her Holocaust book out of here. Who believes in the Holocaust anyway? That's Jewish propaganda if I've ever heard it. I mean,
6 million.
That 6 million, come on. That's crazy. Think about this. Think about the fucking weird way. Like, this is like a leftist fucking nightmare. Absolute debacle. They've got hardcore leftist Palestine supporters getting a Jew woman selling a book about Holocaust survival out of a convention. How crazy is this?
That's what I'm saying. Is that was before she came this year. They had this discussion. That's what they were saying. They agreed.
They agreed that she could sell don't bring your IDF books, but you can bring your Holocaust survivor book.
Holocaust survivor. I guess we can agree that you're celebrating the cultural resilience of the Jewish community recovering from such a horrific atrocity. Well, I guess we can agree that that's important to do at a you make comic books. I guess we all agree on that. That's important to show. Okay, I guess. Not showing the. I guess. No, okay, we'll let you show that one. But the other ones about your time in the Army, giving an actual firsthand experience of, what being a member of the IDF is or what. That's too much. It's too much. The eating, drinking the baby's blood. That's, I understand a lot of what that covers. Traditionally, it's that's what I'm saying. This stuff is like so insane.
Now listen to this.
This is the apology of the apology. Yeah. This is their final thing.
Listen to this part. This kind of stuff kills me in the leftist fucking communities. These leftist fucking circle jerk, fake fucking whatever. After the 2024 incident, a new internal conversation was immediately started. We all felt we had failed to take the correct precautions to ensure our community's safety. What the fuck? Who is not safe in an environment where a Jewish woman is selling a book about surviving the Holocaust? Like the corpo HR way these things are approached is so. I'm standing there, a regular human being. I'm going to be going, nobody's going to be harmed. There is no harm happening to your community. The community's safe. What the fuck do you? Safe means we don't discuss topics that we don't agree on. Then why are we discussing anything? Like, why is this event happening if diverse art forms are being sold here? Like, well, everything is hate speech to somebody is what I'm saying. If I sell a book that's about surviving an automobile wreck, some motherfucker can come up to my table and be like, my dad died in a car crash. You're triggering me. I don't like car crash stuff.
You support car crashes.
You support car crashes. Everything is hate speech to somebody.
Yeah.
Which is why these guys are going to end up putting a triple apology. They're going to put a hat trick out and say they're sorry for the sorry of the sorry.
Like, I just, what I think, maybe if they had like all the people wear like the tags, like patches or something, maybe, so you could know without having to talk to anybody who is who's for what, who is for eating meat, who is for veganism, who's which one is
your hamburger comic book is triggering me. I'm a vegan. Who let the hamburger comic in here?
If you're
you're promoting the murder of cows.
If it's someone that served in the military, maybe they have to wear a star. That could be something, and think about that. A lot of military guys,
a yellow star.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, that would be an easy way just to identify people, so you can, if you're going to be triggered by, someone who served, like we said, in the military, like Zach, right? Zach, he served in the military 2 tours, chose to do that. We need to put like a star on him. That way, if that's going to be something that's going to bother people, you see the yellow star, okay, don't stay away from them. That's the key. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think that might be
as grown people, rational grown people, we know better than to do this. We know better than to tell people they're not allowed to. This is an art community, Dr. Ben. This is an art community. All ideas should be allowed to be explored in an art community. Even if somebody wanted to come and do it, somebody wanted to come to that show, found out she was going to be at the show, wrote and drew a Holocaust denial comic book, and wanted to sell the Holocaust denial comic book at that show, having both of those viewpoints at a show and comics that people could buy, that's healthy. That's a really extreme. That's an extreme point, because people are really triggered by Holocaust denial. I understand that. I understand.
I like jumping to just violence automatically. I think discussion is overrated. Like, just immediately.
But if we're gonna set up a room with a bunch of tables and put artists and writers of comic books at them, we have to allow free speech. We have to allow them to tell their stories however they want to. We can't have these fucking corpo HR board meetings to decide whether or not art can be sold. This is nuts.
It's
how is this board any different from literal Nazis burning fucking books, burning Jew books? They are literally banning a Jewess from their fucking grounds, not for any other reason other than she's a Jewess. Because of your ethnicity,
right,
you're banned for life. For life.
You can't bring in your books about that. That's what I like. Is that this was after their concessions of allowing her to come, she doesn't bring the dangerous books. She doesn't bring the dangerous ones, like the the one about being a hot Jew or whatever, and the other one's Job Nick.
She's not allowed to bring hot Jew with her. That's fucking crazy.
Can't bring that one. The Holocaust stories, you know, she's interviewing like Holocaust survivors, getting their first.
I wouldn't necessarily say she was hot. Would you say she's hot? She's attractive. I wouldn't say
attractive.
She's hot. She's going. She's going.
The book that's what I've been reading that one, and that's what it's about. Is like uh-oh, did something happen? No, okay. But it's about like I said, like fetishizing Israeli soldiers is what it's about. It's very bizarre. Like I'm only like maybe a third of the way into it. And I'm just like, okay, what's going on? But, you know, like I'm not a fast reader, but you know, I try to understand what the whole story is. So that's why, you know, like with this, I haven't made a decision if she's on the good side or the bad side yet. I've still got to get through all these books.
I'm just saying everybody should be allowed to be there. That's crazy shit. That's why I don't go to these. You know, we have a St. Louis and a Chicago small press festival every year,
right?
And they have fucking crazy guidelines on their websites where you've got to be like, you have to submit, like they have to accept you. It's a curated group of cartoonists, and before you even submit, it tells you in the guidelines that blacks and gays get first dibs at tables. Before they ever make a choice about whether you can have a table or not, they have to find out if you're gay or black or a woman. So
I'm all of those things, definitely. Then
white dudes don't even bother. Like you're last in line. White dudes last in line. So I refuse, and they still to this day have fucking mask mandates. The Chicago and the St. Louis fucking small press fests you have to fucking wear a mask.
Still have to. Well, you got to trust the science is the thing. You got to follow.
So these woke F-word fucking shows like this, I don't support them anyway. I don't go shop at them, and I don't try to set up and sell at them because I think these are crazy. These aren't comic lovers. These are corpo HR reps that somehow think they should run comic book shows. It's fucking retarded.
What if there was like a character you could send to antagonize these people with their you know, I mean, it's geez, where did it go? There it is. I just need to have like a picture I can bring up of it.
And they say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagle. Watch as we all fly away.
All right, are we wrapped up here? Can I go watch Soska Sisters porn?
Yeah, you can watch the Soska Sisters porn, man.
If you got more, by all means, keep going. But if we're done with the topic,
I think we're good. It's like oh yeah, we went a minute too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think this was a good one. We got covered all the stuff. I mean, that's we already knew this with the apologies and all this. It's just nonsense, goofball stuff. And I think that's why no one was talking about it, is because they're afraid. They're afraid of the truth.
They're quitting. Moving forward, the few remaining team members will be working to pass VanCap off to a new group that is able to take the resources and structure we have built and continue the show into the future. We will work to rebuild that trust between the community and our festival. So they're firing themselves. They're canceling themselves. They canceled the Jewess and then reversed the decision and canceled themselves. She's probably going to sit on the fucking board now. What does that say about the Rileys, the Palestinian protesters? What are they going to do?
Shut them up.
They got fucked.
Lock them up. Lock them up.
What's going to happen in the 2025 show when they show up fucking rolling deep? Pull up, motherfucker, pull up.
You better be circumcised, is what I can tell you. You better be circumcised.
You motherfuckers better be
We are gonna
circumcised.
check. We are gonna
Get in
check.
this fucking building.
That's what I'm saying. It's just so crazy. They don't even understand what they've like set in motion with all this stuff. Like,
is there more here, or is that it? Is that the bottom of the statement right there, or do they keep going? Because now they've just canceled themselves and they're hoping a whole new team is going to improve the festival. What's on? Scroll down. Is there anything under that?
No. Sincerely, the remaining members.
The remaining members of the board.
Who? None of them signed their names to any of this stuff.
That's crazy. That is one of the most retarded things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, they're just.
That's why I don't support these fucking shows.
And I mean, like, I like, you look at like is this the cover? Yeah, I'm saying you look at the cover, that looks like fun. Kinds of gross book and eyeballs and people smoking pipes and what I'm saying? That looks to me, that looks fun. Free to attend. That looks like everybody's welcome. You like eyeball stuff? Come on in. You like rainbow stuff?
I don't even think a lot of people come to these things. These are like micro fests. I think if 200 people show up to this thing, you got a blockbuster show. So they're going through all this corpo HR craziness over shit that doesn't the art. They're charging $25 to $75 for the table, and they've got maybe they've got 100, maybe they've got 100 vendors in there. Probably not. Probably more like 50 to 75 at best. Some of these shows are even smaller than that, and then the public can come in, and hardly anybody does because they don't have a promotional budget because they aren't charging. They're basically just making their promotional budget is what the fuck. This
is their new promotion is
the table rentals are paying for the rental of the venue, and then so there's no promotional budget at all. So if they get 75 motherfuckers through the door, they're fucking acting like they've done a good job, and they're really going to go through all. They're going to fire themselves. They're going to try to ban a Jew and then freak out and fire themselves for banning a Jew over 75 people walking in the door. The community and harmful and the safety of 75 randos that are going to walk through the door. Get over yourselves. Like, they are not as important. Their attempt to gatekeep safety is a failure. I don't want you in charge of my safety. If you want people to be safe, hire security. This bullshit having a board. First of all, you don't need a board to run a fucking comic book show. It just takes one guy.
It's complicated.
Especially if you're going to have 50 vendors and 75 people are going to go through the door. I promise you, Dr.Ben, one guy can fucking do it. It's a one-day show. Is this a one-day show?
Yeah, it was just one day.
A fucking one-day shit. It's like 5 hours. Are we talking about 5 hours? What is the time? What is the show me the fucking
let's see. Is there a floor plan?
Show me the floor plan. Let's see how many tables there actually are at this fucking.
I guess that would kind
of. Or maybe exhibitors will show you the. Okay, there it is.
Okay. So they got a bunch of people.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 12 across. So that's 24 on both sides. So call it 100. Call it 120 vendors.
Okay. So yes, I mean, I could see them having everybody gets their friend to come and whatnot, and what I'm saying, I could see a couple hundred people showing up, definitely. But that doesn't.
Show me the hours. Show me the hours of the show.
Where is that at? Wait, is there more? Oh Jesus. The Wondrous Abyss. Yeah, I think. Wait a second. 2000 in alphabetical order. Wait, April. Is that the same one? They're alphabetical on two different pages. They're separate people on this page. Okay, so
and then a third? That's the exit entrance. So that's 3. Hang on. No, here's the exhibition. What is that thing at the top? Is that 2 rooms?
I don't know. This is very confusing. I think, is this maybe like a back? Maybe this is a big festival.
So 200 vendors, 250 vendors?
I could see. Yeah.
Is this a whole nother one below that?
I think this is a better explanation of this one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because these are the same numbers, F10, F9, F10, F. It's just a blown up picture of that. Okay. Oh, Paul Chadwick was there.
Ethan. Oh no. Oh, wrong Ethan.
They would have definitely shut it down if he was there. Where's Dale Keown? Why isn't Dale Keown up there? Canadian.
Where's the Soska sisters?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it could have been a nice show for everybody, but they started letting in Israelis, and then all went to hell. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking. Let's see. Is there more? Gotta go back. Oh no. Okay, maybe panels and performances. Is this Friday? Okay, so there's
Friday?
showing movies.
Hang on, is there a Saturday?
Sounds like maybe Friday was just an online screening. I'm not sure. Vancouver Comics Jam. Okay.
7 p.m. to, don't they mean 7 p.m. to 12 a.m.? 7 p.m. to 12 p.m.
No, I think this was just, it's because it says come and hang out and draw with local and international comics creators at the Pleasant.
The jam gets going at 7. So then here's Saturday. So it's a multi-day event.
But I think
Land Acknowledgement Comics Artist Spotlight Panel.
Friday, I think, is not the actual festival. I think Friday is like sort of like a pre-game,
yeah, starting at 7
at a
p.m.
separate place.
Then at 11 a.m. the show gets going. So maybe it's just a Saturday show, is what you're saying, with like a Friday pre-game?
Yeah, like a thing the night before, because this is all Saturday. Telling Indigenous stories. Excellent.
So we started at 11. We're at 3 p.m. now. 4 p.m.
Comics in College. Oh, Diana Schutz, the Dark Horse editor. Fantastic.
7 p.m. So we're an 8-hour show right now.
Swung for the fences with his English language debut. Okay. Oh wait, okay. Is that the guy?
Is that
the guy from the Snowpiercer?
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I guess everybody Snowpiercer was in all terms. Okay. Oh, a screening of the Snowpiercer. Duh. If I could read, I can't read. Is my problem. Or you can watch Jesse Jacobs' print show. Yeah, I've heard of that guy. He draws pictures. Music at Lucky's Comics.
So that's the
Sunday.
Here's Sunday. It's a 3-day thing, dude.
Man.
So that goes all the way to. So it's an 8-hour show on Saturday, and then it probably goes to 5 on Sunday. This is a big show.
Apparently, the land acknowledgement is supposed to cover both days. Right? There's nothing about a land acknowledgement starting Sunday off, unless it's later.
Queering the comics arts. I definitely want to. Attend that.
Need to work on that, definitely. Not enough of the queering in the comics arts yet. What inspires them?
Well, I got a couple ideas.
Do you want to pitch a tent? No, do you want to pitch an exhibition of your publication-based practice to art galleries, but aren't sure where to start? Thinking beyond framing and mounting images on a wall, this info session will include a presentation.
Do you want to pitch an scroll back up for a second. An exhibition of your publication-based practice. What does that even mean? That's corpo speak. I don't know what that means. Does that mean my comic book publication-based practice? Does that mean my comic book framing and mounting images? Oh, I guess it's just how to display it in an art gallery. Publication-based practice.
I'm a publication-based practitioner is what I am.
I guess because it could be any number of things. It could be the Soska sisters pissing on each other as a sculpture. So you have to say publication-based practice because it's not just paintings or not just
piss-based publication. Yeah,
piss-based publication.
So that's what I'm saying. If Riley were to do like a photos montage series of their and present it in a publication
of the ever-growing length of Eric July's back hair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe have like it unfolds. You know, like it starts off, it's this long, and you unfold the page as his back hair grows. That could be, you know, there's a lot of different ways you could do that, and like an interactive display at the gallery of your publication. Yeah, these are just definitely just garbage words. I don't.
Coming on Comics.
How do you get pages unstuck? We're going to show you.
Hodgson, Christopher Twin, Jen Woodall, Veronica Howell, Veronica Post, and Bohm will speak about the art of jacking off onto comics.
Excellent. I like it. The various artistic practices they have done before and brought them onto comics. Okay. Join the Eisner winning women and friends in conversation about challenges and charms of their respective careers. Oh, Diana Schutz again. She was like one of the editors for Grendel. Grendel, you've read the Grendel comics, haven't you? What?
Nope.
No, Matt Wagner, Grendel? None of that? Child?
Nope.
Get the fuck.
I have not read them, no.
Okay, well.
Am I losing comics cred here? I'm sorry. I just,
No, I never thought of them as like
a blind spot for Grendel. I know of it. I just have never read it.
Yeah, they're fun. They're sci-fi. You know, he's like a assassin through the ages kind of thing, I guess. All this talks about her working with all these other people. Frank Miller, he was at Juice last year, the Jewish Comics Experience Festival. Oh, Matt Wagner is apparently wait a minute. No, this isn't all about. Well, so anyways, legitimate
shouts to fucking Harlan Ellison up there. He's one of my favorite sci-fi writers. Big in comics too. Harlan Ellison did a lot of work in comics.
That's another one. I got a comics journal about Harlan. I think it was somehow he was some sort of court case he was involved in.
Oh, he sued everybody.
Yeah,
he sued James Cameron over Terminator and won.
Oh, okay. See, that's what I'm saying. It's always been political. There's always been these crazy
What? You don't know about Harlan Ellison and Terminator?
I don't know about that. Oh.
What kind of comics fan are you?
See, that's what I'm saying. This has been a continuing theme. Crazy people are in comics, and they're just gonna be. It just keeps going. Okay, but so I guess that shows it's what like a. What do you call it? Like a. You know, it's like an art festival. They've got the comic stuff, and then they've got all these presentations and you know what I'm saying? Like they're. I don't know if you know big name curators. I don't know if Paul Chadwick's a big name curator.
Raging anti-Semitic fucking Nazis. They've got a big show.
Yeah, for being
and just canceling themselves.
Openly anti-Semitic.
For being an openly anti-Semitic show, they're a pretty big deal.
Seems pretty popular with these folks up there. You know, that's the thing too. I want to think about is that it
really.
Is
I mean, we're
Canadian.
making jokes, but you can't call that anything but anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Because of your Jewishness and your Jewish comic books, you're banned from our show for life. You cannot. Anti-Semitic gets thrown around too much.
That does seem like it, though.
And J words love to play the victim, but that's honest to God, fucking anti-Semitism.
They're just against Zion, it's not against Jews, just against Zion. Zion,
it's about an ideology, not an ethnicity.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just fantastic that this is what like the left is. This is what the mainstream comics is like. They're fine with. None of them coming out. Man, we have did you guys know we apparently don't like Jews? Did you guys know all that? Like, now that's what I'm saying. Like, I
even
find
though
it so.
90%, even though 90% of the names on this fucking list are Jewish.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Stanley Lieber, Jacob Kurtzberg, you know, like
Arlen Ellison is a Jew.
Siegel, what is it? Joe Siegel and Joe Shuster. Is that what their names? Siegel and Shuster, creators of Superman. Which they argue that maybe Superman was almost like a golem, which is apparently a Jewish mythology of some sorts. You know, like that's what I'm saying. It's just insane that this is all going on, and they're like, it's just a matter of what gets covered in the news, what gets covered in the comics news. What's Richard?
Yeah, you said this hasn't been covered at all, right?
They covered it.
Johnston's and everybody else, they haven't.
They covered it on Comicsgate, but it's like it was just swept under the rug. Like if you ever, you know, sometimes they'll have.
It's like a one paragraph blurb and move on.
Right. Well, it's a matter of like what people will focus on, what they will point out, and it's like something really big happened, and they're just kind of like, it's fine, just keep going, everything's okay. We just bullied Ed Piskor to death, but we're gonna change the story into something else. That was one of the people I did see on the list. Whenever I brought up that list earlier about how they had written a bunch of cartoonists all protested about it. One of the ones that had signed her name was Alex DeCampi, of course.
Right.
So I will shine a light on old Judge Death. You know, like when
is the Eisners? When is that confrontation going to go down between Piskor's family and Alex DeCampi? I'm interested if they're all going to play Corpo HR nice together. Or
yeah, I don't imagine. Awards. When is that at? Is it at? Pull this. Eisner Awards. That's the list. I'm not sure that it says when. It has to say when it is at some point, but
have they not announced the dates yet?
The deadline for voting was June 6th. Okay, the Eisner Award trophies will be presented in a gala awards ceremony to be held at the San Diego Hilton Bayfront Hotel during Comic-Con on the evening of July 26th.
So there we go. Next month.
Yeah, so that
showdown between Ed's family and Alex DeCampi. What's your prediction for the nothing burger?
Yeah, I can't imagine they're gonna. There'll be some sort of awkward phrasing that someone will have. You know, whether it's whoever wins or whatever. Or if they don't win, there'll be some sort of like awkward phrasing that they use. But I can't imagine. Honestly, I wouldn't. You know, if I was really, if that was like I had, that was my family that had ended their life and everything, and I don't know that I would even want to go. You know what I mean? Like at this point, the lady has got to be finding out, and his family has got to be finding out that like the comics industry is just made up of fucking garbage.
The comics literally killed their family member, and they're going to go to the Eisner Awards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they got to be like what. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like they got to be kind of seeing, like, slowly putting it together. Like, oh, like all the people in comics are just like all the professionals that he talked about in his thing, and they're all just garbage people. Like, especially how I was saying with the blog, the YouTuber guy that died yesterday or the other day or whatever, the comics historian or whatever. Immediately, they're like, "Oh my God, this is so horrible. He's passed away." As you know, I mean, you know, it's horrible, definitely, if he died in an accident or whatever. But that was like immediately, they're all crying, gnashing their teeth. Ed's whole thing, and they're just like, okay. Well, yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, like it's just such a complete 100. I don't know if I'd say 180-degree difference, but just you can see like who's for who and like who's angry with who with just how they react to everything, and it's just so bizarre. And that's what I'm saying. Like if that was my family, I wouldn't want to be like legitimizing the comics industry by going and being like, oh yeah, I accept this. Thank you so much for honoring, our fallen family member. I'd be like,
that you killed.
Mail that shit if you're gonna.
Yeah, no shit. Mail that shit.
Yeah, I'm not coming down so you guys can all prance around and tell me how. Fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what all I would see is they're not anyone that's there is going to be apologizing to them. Oh, we're so sorry. Everything's so horrible. Or they'll be on the, how much they were inspired by Ed, which I mean, it's great that he inspired so many people, but it's like, it creates this false sense of history is what I'm seeing, like just happen in real time, like all the issues, the problems, the faults that he brought up by all of this is just being turned into, let's just focus on being inspired by Ed and not raising, pointing out faults, pointing out flaws. Let's just ignore that and just be positive. And it's like a month later, they're banning the Jewish lady, saying that she's personally responsible for a genocide, and like no one sees like the connection between, hey, maybe we shouldn't just focus on individuals and try to create that like mob mentality. Maybe we shouldn't create this mob mentality and feed into that. Like there's
no, they never learn. I mean, if they were introspective and learned from their mistakes, they wouldn't fucking be psychos. This board wouldn't have had to cancel its entire self and look forward to the new board taking things in an exciting new direction.
Exciting
right,
new.
Ben, I gotta eat dinner.
I think I got my tacos showed up. All right. Well, I will let you go. You want to hang out for a second afterwards? Or you want me? Well, I'll let you eat. I'll just I'll play a video to let everyone go to sleep. A lot of people watch the videos later, apparently, while they're doing other stuff. So
yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I watch your reviews later on when I'm relaxing, getting ready for bed.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by, and thanks for Sam stopping in too. I hope all his stuff worked out. I'll put a link in the comments. I'll comment with a link to your what do you want? Like just to kevinstrange.com or to your channel?
Go do strangeville.thecomicseries.
Okay. Okay, I'll put that down.
Send them to the Comics archive. We just passed 50,000 views.
Hell yeah!
On that, over 200 pages of published, uncensored Kevin Strange comics.
Fantastic. True Underground, still alive, and it's in Strangeville, Illinois.
That's where it resides. Who would have thought? What a coincidence!
All right.
Do not wear that outfit again. But if you want to keep your speed, because I want to fit in. Sorry, you're just not terribly important to me. Did you know that Whitney Houston's debut LP has 4 #1 singles on? Did you know that Christy, there are no girls with good personalities? I don't think we should see each other anymore. It never was supposed to be. Gotta return some videotape. Have to return some videotape. Did you know I'm utterly insane? I like to dissect girls that ate some of their brains. Gotta return some videotape. I'm really late. Gotta return some videotape. I guess 'cause we're living in a world of fruits, breaking us down. When the ocean let us be, we belong to you and me. I believe in you. You know the dogs you are very soul. You're the light in my deepest, darkest doubt. You're the safety when I fall. And remain, I think I care for you. When you know down the sauce that'll really do. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fruits, breaking us down. When the ocean let us be, we belong to you and me. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da da to me on these submarines, keep me warm in your glow, in your soft baby. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fruits, breaking us down. When the ocean let us be, we belong to you and me. La 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 la. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fruits, breaking us down. When the ocean let us be, we belong to you and me. La 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 la. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fruits, breaking us down. When the ocean let us be, we belong to you and me. La la.